You're watching the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent Austen Show.
Mac Jones, your Jaguars starting quarterback for the rest of the year as Trevor Lawrence has surgery. Hang on. Okay. Hey, trying to keep it professional. And then Mac Jones. Hey, what? How are we starting the show? What was Mac Jones? What is that? What is that? Cha-cha something?
I wish I could tell you.
Okay. I mean, hey, I'm not mad at it. I guess Mac Jones has some moves, but he will be your starting quarterback going forward. And also Jacksonville native Johnny Wolford is now on the team as well as Trevor Lawrence goes to IR and has surgery on that AC joint. Is that what it was? Just circle it up a little bit here, Hamby? For Mac Jones? Are you not watching me? It's all good. I was talking about yeah. All right. Is that a new dance that the kids are doing, or is that just Mac Jones being Mac Jones?
I think that's
keeping it light. Keeping it light, man. Having some fun. I get it, right? You're kind of in the dog days of the season now. Things haven't gone your way. It's getting a little more chilly outside. I understand all of it. Now, I'll be honest here. You know, compared to when I played in Detroit in the wintertime compared to here, well, there really is no comparison. Because even though you had a nice, warm, cozy practice facility in Detroit, Jim Schwartz back in the day felt the need to, let's go ahead and test out our mental prowess here, and let's make sure that even if there's like a foot of snow on the ground, let's go outside and practice. So that's what we had to go through, man. So I feel like Jacksonville's got a little easy in terms of the winter time, but it's gonna be It could be a chillier game on Sunday in Nashville, Tennessee, number one. But number two, it should be at least, I'm not really feeling it right now, but it should be a bad-blooded game as well. And maybe it's just the fact that both teams are kind of struggling right now. Maybe it's the fact that there's not much to play for, set aside from draft position. But last time I checked, this was the Jaguars' biggest rival. And Hamby, I get there's nothing to really play for except pride, but I'm not really feeling that this week from either team. Are you?
Yeah, it might be one of those things where we've been so stuck on the Texans and the whole saga.
I have been obsessed, yes.
Right? All of us, where it's just taken us longer to pivot our focus media-wise to the Tennessee Titans. I don't know if that's the same inside that locker room. I would imagine that they're probably feeling that as well, but I would hope that they're just as much locked in on this upcoming rivalry. Yeah,
I mean, I would hope so too. Let me ask you this. By the way, Brent Martineau on location is going to be in Nashville. I think he's kind of gallivanting Broadway, maybe things like that, but he will not be on the show today. So myself and Jason Hamby pushing all the right buttons will be holding this down. Also, I believe Casey Kurtz will be stopping by as well to say what's up. I want to get his thoughts about the Houston Texans because he's always been kind of a Houston Texans advocate. He was the guy that kind of called they would win the division last year when nobody was talking about them. Can't wait to hear what he has to say about his. I don't want to say his Houston Texans because he's still a Jaguars guy through and through, but I want to get his thoughts on the Houston Texans. Yeah, Hammy, maybe we've just been so preconceived now with the Houston Texans and Azeez Al-Shir and everything of the suspension and the Texans fan base. But what I wanted to ask you is, going forward, going into next season, do you think that the Texans could overcome, and keep in mind, I get there's a lot of history with the Titans and the Jaguars, but do you think next year in terms of bad blood, in terms of we got to beat them, in terms of Jaguars Twitter going off, do you think the Texans actually surpass the Tennessee Titans in a team that you want to see, get crushed by the Jaguars?
It has to.
Yeah.
There's no way. They have to have surpassed the Titans because it's all about recency as well, right? Obviously, history it would say it's the Titans, but recency and that hit and everything that's come of it would say that the Titans have surpassed them.
Well, and here's the crazy thing. We talk about recency bias. Okay. The Titans that were about to play on Sunday knocked the Jaguars out of the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
Broke your hearts. A game you were supposed to win. A game where you knew what the Titans were going to do and you couldn't stop them. took you out of the playoffs. Like, listen, we don't even know, like, this season, even this season right now, could be a whole lot different if the Jaguars go to the playoffs last year. Mm-hmm. So there has to still be a lot of animosity, a lot of, I don't want to say hate, because hate's obviously a very strong word, but a lot of despise for your opponent this Saturday, especially going back to the place that was responsible for you getting knocked out of the playoffs. So I agree with you, Hamby, right? Anytime your starting quarterback gets hit, gets knocked out, gets lost for the season, and then kind of the response of everything is like, let's go on Twitter and Instagram and, feel sorry for ourselves. I get it where you can become, and this is kind of on brand for the past week, the new villain, if you will.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna discredit all the Tennessee Titans stuff, because bad blood, I don't want to say hatred, bad blood, despise, anger, it takes a long time to build up. And when it comes to the Titans and Jaguars, like, that's been there forever. Now, the Texans, yeah, it's definitely growing. And right now, once again, the recency bias, well, the hit on Trevor Lawrence surpasses everything. It has precedent. Mm-hmm. But you still can't deny the fact that, hey, it's the Tennessee Titans, and you don't like them.
Yeah, I'm with it. Now, do you think the Jags are going to be focused enough? I mean, it's individuals, obviously, that make up the locker room, and you couldn't point to a single player that say, oh, they're maybe not focused or they're still locked in on the Texans. But do you think the Jags and Brent said yesterday that when he was inside the locker room talking to some players, that it was like kind of the first time where he felt that the defeat had really set in, obviously, because we were finally nail in the coffin eliminated after the Texans lost. That wasn't officially official until now.
Yeah.
Could that play a role? Do you think we're going to get up for this game?
I mean, it's a legitimate question, and it's stupid that we have to ask that question, right? This team knocked you out of the playoffs last year. How can't you get up for this game, right? Like, I remember, back in some of the dark days of the franchise when I was playing, when we won 2 games in one season, we probably didn't have the best talent in the league. Mm-hmm. Not a roster like this year's Jaguars team. So we didn't have the best talent. We always figured that we'd beat in every single game, and that was, Coach Mike Mularkey, I think, doing a good job of keeping us focused, right, and keeping us focused on the task at hand, even though sometimes maybe the wins didn't reflect that. Now, I think some players, obviously, with the old school demeanor of Mike Mularkey, they're like, oh, man, I'm exhausted, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I was never like that, because it's not how I was brought up, not how I was raised, wasn't cut from that cloth. I mean, I said about Ndamukong Suh every once in a while, like he was born in the wrong era. Maybe I was born in the wrong era. Or maybe like I was on the bridge of, all right, this is the old school way of doing things and this is a new school way, and I was kind of right in the middle, and I saw the way the NFL was going, and I was like, yeah, maybe this, this whole, taking it easy in practice and this social media era, maybe it's just not for me. So maybe I was kind of the bridge guy with that. But nevertheless, like, we still played hard, because what it turned into, Hamby, in that locker room for us is the outside noise started to be from our fan base when we won that, the 2-win season. It was, all right, draft position,
yeah.
Right? And I'm going to be honest, it pissed us off, right? Because we didn't give two what's about the draft. Like, we cared about, number one, our jobs, and we knew that whether it was going to be in Jacksonville, another team like the following season, like what we did in those last 4 or 5 games with 2 losses, with 2 wins,
right?
It was going to be out there for everybody to see. So it was almost like a job audition, because we knew what was up. The coaches knew what was up. Like, regardless of if Coach Welker's going to get fired or not everybody was going to be there next season. You can't win 2 games in a year and expect to have the exact same roster, to expect to have the exact same coaching staff. So we knew what was up, right? So that was the priority number one, is, all right, you take care of yourself, right? Like, you make sure that you put good film out there so another team can see you and maybe bring you on. But the second thing was middle fingers to everybody telling us to, fail, to lose on purpose, to fail on purpose for a better pick in the draft. So then it almost became like it was us versus the world, including fan bases in our own city. Now, listen, from a fan perspective, I get it. Cheer for a higher draft pick, right? When Trevor Lawrence was available, and New York wins and everything, and people are celebrating, was I one of those guys? Absolutely not, because that was the player in me. But I get the fan side, right? I'm never going to say you got to lose on purpose to get a better draft spot. I don't care who the quarterback is. I don't care if it's the next reincarnation of Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. Like, it's just not what I believe in. But I get the other side of it. So nevertheless, we were still playing hard back when it was the dark days here in Jacksonville when I was playing. Brent alluded to it. Brent talked about how, man, the guys maybe seem a little tired. The guys maybe seem a little bit of a disconnect. I mean, there's been a disconnect all season. Now, whether that disconnect stems from the higher-ups with coaching, whether that's, the inner workings of a locker room, you saw the disconnect when they got their butts kicked by the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't care the talent difference. The NFL is wired. The NFL is made to, despite who your quarterback, despite anything, the NFL is made to play in competitive games, or at least halfway competitive games.
You're all NFL players.
You're all NFL players. So when we talk about that, well, then guess what? There's been a disconnect a long time, I feel like, in this locker room. Now, Brent may disagree with me there, and I'll let Brent speak his piece, next week when he comes back on the show. But I feel like we've seen this now for a while, and that's just the way that it is. So, if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, what do you have to play for this weekend? Well, once again, jobs are on the line, pride. But if I'm Doug Peterson, and this is what's so disappointing, I guess, to me, you don't need a rah-rah speech for this game. You don't need to come in there and who's the dude from Oregon, Hamby?
Manning.
By the way, I mean, for those of you in the stream, if you haven't been watching like all his but all his team meetings,
locker room
speeches, getting his players ready for big moments, go on Twitter and go ahead and type his name and check that out.
Yeah.
The last one that I saw when they played Washington, where he had the movie Inglourious Bastards.
Yep.
And he had, they call him the Bear Jew, and it was the whole scene with the Bear Jew and the baseball bat. Insane. I recommend everybody go back and watch it, but that's motivation, right? Like that's taking something out of thin air and saying, we got to get our guys up for a game that they're probably supposed to win against Washington, but I want that extra pump, right? And that's where he goes to Inglourious Bastards.
They came here for a fight. Yeah, and we will oblige them.
Exactly. And then it's really cool how, like, in the game, I didn't even notice, but in the game, they all kind of had the baseball bat swing. I'm like, okay, is this like a new thing coming back? No, they were referring to their coach with the baseball bat in that team meeting.
See what they did at half?
I did, yeah.
Lanning smashed the helmet with the bat, Washington's helmet.
It's insane, man. And I appreciate it. Now, these are young men who can be motivated and everything. NFL is a little different. You got grown-ass men. Doesn't matter, though. You don't need the rah-rah speech. You don't need the Oregon speech. You don't need the baseball bat smashing helmet. All you got to do is put on the film from last year of the Tennessee Titans crushing your hopes and dreams. When it shouldn't have happened. When you were the favorite. When you knew what they were going to do. And the fact that we got, once again, and this I'm echoing what Brent was saying, the fact that we got guys kind of like, oh, you kind of tired? Yeah, guess what? Everyone's tired, man. Fan base is tired. I'm tired about talking about bad optics and not talking about football. We're all tired. But if you have any sort of pride in you, you will come out on Sunday and try to beat the you-know-what out of the Tennessee Titans. Because they deserve it. They embarrassed you last year. And I'm not sure if that message right now is getting across with Doug Peterson and staff. And it's great English, Austin. It's the easiest message that you could ever convey. They beat you last year. They took you out of the playoffs. What you going to do about it? But we'll see, man. We will see. And I get it. What you have right now is what you have with this coaching staff, with this roster. If you can't make a change after Detroit, you won't make a change at all, and that's fine. But once again, forget draft position. Forget that Trevor Lawrence hit at this point. I don't even care about it. Where's your pride at? Where's your manhood at? Because that's what this game on Sunday is all about. So take that part you want. Now, shifting gears a little bit, gambling. Well, actually, before we get into Dan Campbell and gambling, Hamby, we didn't even address this yesterday for your birthday, because your birthday's a couple days ago. You kind of made a killing a little bit at the poker room on your birthday.
Yeah.
Tell us about it, man.
Well,
Take us through it a little bit.
Shout out to Best Bet. Great. I mean, I love going.
Sure.
I love playing poker.
Sure.
Poker kind of fiend.
Sure.
Just hold them.
Poker fiend. Okay, just hold them. We're not doing. Okay, we're not doing Omaha or anything like that.
Nope.
Okay.
But yeah, me and my buddy went up there. I mean,
Okay.
I go. I've said many times. I think I try to go when I can.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been able to go because I normally try to go on Friday nights, but I've been locked in with high school football.
Sure.
So I hadn't been in a while.
Sure.
So I had like 3 hours of obviously free time on my birthday, so I decided to go with my buddy.
Okay.
And play 2-2 no limit, just like always.
How much is the buy-in, if you don't mind sharing?
$250.
Okay.
Yep. And came out with right below 600.
Dang, man.
So
dang. All right. So, I mean, was it up all night? Was it up and down? I mean, take us through it, Hamby.
So
you had the earbuds in. How was the table looking? Pros? Were you intimidated? Take us all through it.
Yeah. So obviously, this time on a Wednesday night, not as much action. Like Friday, Saturday, Best Bet is popping. Obviously, it's great action. But Wednesday night, a little bit less, right?
Okay.
So I'm actually sitting right next to one of my best buddies who came with me. And so we were just talking, just catching up, whatever.
Yeah.
And obviously we're not like trying to hide that we know each other, but we also it's like that would be unavoidable. Like we're just catching up when we fold our hands.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So you and your dude are like one of your best friends are at the same table.
Yes, we didn't try to.
Sure.
They sat us right next to each other.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
He's on my left.
Okay.
He has position on me.
Now, do you think is he the better player or are you the better
I'm
player?
better. I taught him how to play.
Oh man,
way back when,
Mr. Miyagi.
So.
Oh, okay.
So he's good. He's pretty good.
Yeah, but obviously you're feeling good about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But he has position on me, so advantage him.
Okay.
But what people don't know, so to make a long story short, there was a big pot, and it was me, my buddy, and this other guy. And he the other guy was the aggressor, pre-flop or whatever. So I'm trying to use poker terms.
No, hey,
but
I get it. I'm not sure that the stream gets it, but I get it. I know what you're saying.
To make a long story short, I flopped a full house. I had pocket sixes and the flop came 4-6-4. So I flopped a full house. I'm just like, all right, well, hopefully this guy keeps it up.
Now, that's what they call the nuts, ladies and gentlemen, in poker terms.
Right. I'm going to let this guy do the betting for me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and he's in last position, so that's even better. So
checked it, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Slow play that. Slow play that, baby. Let's go. Okay.
Right.
So you slow play it.
Yeah. So there's some money getting in there, and on the turn there's more money, and then my buddy actually goes all in for not a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe less than 100 or something, and then I shoved on top.
Yeah.
And then the aggressor, he calls.
Okay.
So the river's clean. I win it all. After he was like, honestly. Obviously, he's like pointing at. He's like, I thought you were just trying to protect him.
Oh, yeah.
Protect his hand.
Yeah.
And my buddy immediately goes, "Yeah, we're like that outside of here, but not here."
It's cutthroat, man.
Yeah.
Every man for themselves.
Half the plots I play were just against him, my buddy.
I like it.
So obviously, if that guy would have known that, maybe wouldn't have called. But he thought I was trying to be friendly a little bit, and because in the effect we probably would have just split his money if I was just trying to protect him, and he would have folded.
Yeah.
But nope. So he called because of that, and I skipped a huge pot. And one I probably was up all night, and that was the one that
good for you, man.
And then I played for another hour, right? Because
you gotta give people a chance to win their money back. Right? I got it. Yep.
I'm not gonna tank and just head out as soon as I take. And I played pots against that guy, kind of intentionally.
Yeah.
In a sense, not searching for ways to try and give my money back to him.
Yeah.
But so it was a good night.
Nice, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I got to get in there with some time with you, man. Because I haven't played in a while, but like I'm not gonna say I'm like really good or anything, but I've had success. But once again, I think that just like I grew up playing poker in high school and stuff. We used to always like poker, hangouts and everything. But like I always look at it like a weigh-in of a UFC fight. Like that's how I approach it, right? Where I'm always just kind of like, because yes, I'm a very outgoing and I hope I'm friendly to people, but I can appear intimidating to the unknown, right?
Unnaturally.
Yeah, but I'm just I get it. So yeah, usually like when I'm playing, like I'm stone faced and I'm just like, kind of looking through the person a little bit. And sometimes you can tell something, but it's more about just trying to have like a posture of dominance because that can do something sometimes for you. Does. But there was one time where I played in like a local like celebrity tournament. This is the one I got third in. But there was another guy from the station this is the old station that I worked at, where he was in it with me. Like he's in the tournament with me, and then it came down to like on our table because you know how it works in tournaments. There's a lot of tables, so we were like some of the last people on our table, and we both called, and like the whole time I'm just like, But I also know like sometimes when you go to the face-offs and when you watch body language, sometimes it's good to just do something completely random. Yeah. And people have no idea how to respond. So, Hamby, I kid you not, I may have said maybe one or two words we're probably like 2 hours into the tournament. I may have said one or two words the entire tournament, and I'm just like, all right, I see my cards, and, ace king, I'm not mad at it, right? And then all of a sudden, I forgot like what the flop was, but I know I had the high pair. It was ace, and then it was like I want to say it was like 6 and 2 or something. So like, hey, I'm pretty good. So the flop goes and like stone faced. I looked down at my cards again, just slow playing it, and I go, holy crap! And I go back like this. No, swear to God, and the rest of the people at the table just like. They jumped out of their seats. But I was like busted out laughing because once again, the guy I was playing with from the station, like he knows, like he knows, like I like to have fun. Mm-hmm. So I do that, and then he goes, "I have no idea what that means. Like you might be bluffing, you might have the best pair of all." Like, he had no idea. But needless to say, I ended up winning the hand, and I go to the final table. But sometimes you got to keep them on your toes a little bit, man. Keep them on your toes a little bit. But speaking of gambling, before we go to break here. Lions and Packers.
Oh boy.
Ham, did you watch it last night? Did you catch a little bit last night?
Unfortunately, so I watched up until the midway through the third when the Packers took the lead. They got the pick and they took the lead, and then I went to bed and then I watched the highlights this morning.
Yeah.
Holy cow, man!
So first of all, I mean, obviously two great teams, right? Two of the best teams I believe in the NFC. Yeah. Teams that I think have pretty damn good quarterbacks, teams that can run the ball, teams that are physical. I mean, it was all on display last night. Dan Campbell, man, and I get on social media at least, people feel a certain type of way about it in terms of going for it on fourth down when you can essentially kick a field goal and win. I'm gonna say my thoughts. I'll let you speak here, Hamby.
I'll set it up real quick.
Set it up.
So, tie game.
Yes.
Tie game with about 1:10 left. Mm-hmm. No timeouts for either side, I believe.
Correct.
And the Lions are moving the football. Yep. They have it about the 25-yard line, and it's a 4th and 1, right?
So what are you looking at, like a 30-something yard field goal?
It would have been a 42.
Okay, 42. Okay. 42. So, I mean, come on. It's the
pretty
NFL.
Much a chip shot for the NFL.
Let's go and make that, yeah.
Right. With a minute. So he would have left the Packers with 50 seconds. Correct. And no timeouts to go and win the game.
Correct.
Or to tie the game, most likely.
And your defensive line, surprisingly, the entire night was kind of generating pressure as well.
Right.
So like, yeah, that's the scenario. I feel like 31 NFL coaches in that situation would have kicked the field goal. Hopefully have obviously made it. You kick off and, you play some prevent defense or whatever. Don't let Green Bay score, get a field goal, and you win the game. But Dan Campbell goes, hold my beer. Yeah. Biggest cojones in the entire NFL. And he goes, hey, you know what? Let's go for it on 4th and 1. Now, here's my piece. I'll let you speak your piece, Hamby. I get that everyone online is saying what a stupid idea that was. And I get everyone online is saying that will come back to bite him one day. If you keep that same type of attitude when it matters the most, it will come back to bite you. But at the same time, Hamby, I can't be mad at Dan Campbell. And here's why. It would be one thing if you had like the ultimate 4th and 1 play drawn up. Maybe it's like a play action boot, something like that. But even then, that's risky, right? Because if you put the ball in the quarterback's hands and you try to throw it, a lot of things can happen. But the fact that Dan Campbell goes, you know what we're going to do? We're going to run between the tackles. we're going to run for a first down because I trust my offensive line more than I'm afraid of Green Bay's defensive line. And that, to me, tells you everything you need to know about a team, number one, but also the way they're coached, number two. Because when you can essentially go, you know what we're going to do. We're going to run. It's what we do. We're a physical team with our offensive line.
Yeah.
You know what we're going to do. We're going to run, try to stop it. And you can't. That's demoralizing, Hamby, especially when the game's on the line. So I get all the hate about it. I get all the armchair experts going, that was a stupid idea, and I understand all of it. But at the end of the day, the Detroit Lions right now are the best team in the NFL, I think. And number two, they won last night.
Yeah. Look, it's hard to argue with the results.
Correct.
Hard to argue with the results. However, they don't get that 4th and 1. Obviously, we're playing the what ifs.
Sure. And if I had wheels, I'd be a wagon.
I get it. However, we saw the aggression from Dan Campbell last year in the playoffs and down the stretch.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's obvious.
Correct.
Can you be too aggressive? Can you roll the dice too often? I think, again, you said he's the only guy in the NFL who probably would have done it. 31 other head coaches would have kicked it.
I mean,
I agree.
I feel like Philly wouldn't have even did it. I feel like Philly would have kicked the field goal.
Yeah.
And they're going for two like it's going out of style sometimes, it seems like.
Yeah, I definitely
think Sirianni would have went for would have kicked the field goal.
And I think it's obviously situation.
I would have kicked the field goal, by the way, too.
Yeah.
yeah.
If the Packers have 3 timeouts,
yeah,
maybe.
Sure.
Then I'll probably go with you.
Yep.
Because at that point in the game, a field goal is probably like the high likelihood is they're going to be able to get a field goal. The Packers and answer it and tie the football game and send it to overtime. If not, it will have 3 timeouts.
Sure.
If not, score a touchdown and win.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I totally understand that if you have a chance to kill the game, you want to take it.
Yeah.
Right? And I totally also get that you want to show that you trust your players to go get a yard. And you've had success in the past. However, it's hard for me to not say that I could see this really biting them at some point down the stretch.
No, and you know what? It very well might bite them, but it didn't bite them last night. And if you saw the locker room after of just the energy and the confidence that number one, that whole team exuded, but number two, Dan Campbell, I thought I had PTSD watching that locker room thing from being back at Rockville in the mosh pit with like Limp Bizkit and Slipknot. It was insane. Like, name another coach that brings that much energy after a game.
No,
dude was ready to literally run through a wall. Dude was. I thought he may have bit Jared Goff's kneecaps because he didn't know how to act. Like, this guy is rabid. He is a menace, and he has the Detroit Lions playing at a very high level and a very physical level as well. And that was showcased on that 4th and 1. Everyone's gonna say don't do it. I wouldn't have did it. Hamby, you wouldn't have did it. But at the end of the day, there's a reason why I think the Detroit Lions might be the best team in the NFL. It's because when you put that much faith in your players and you put that much faith in the brand. Because that play right there, it wasn't a scheme. It wasn't even putting your faith in Ben Johnson, I don't think. It was putting your faith in who you are, in your identity, in your foundation. And that's what the Detroit Lions are, everybody. And whether you like it or not, I think they're here to stay. So let's go ahead and take a break. We got Casey Kurtz in the studio next. That song is new. What is this? Is this a song to exit out, or is this like something from the Lions game?
No. It's a song that Mac Jones might have been dancing
Let's let Mac Jones dance before we go to break here. Hit him with it, Mac. Hit him with it, Mac. Oh, yeah. Tennessee, hope you're ready for that. Going to be a lot of that in the end zone come this Sunday.
When it comes to trucks, I know exactly what I want. And at Bozard Ford, they make it easy to get exactly that. Let's go make this truck a little more my style. With Bozard Built, I can create my perfect truck right here. Lift kit? Check. Premium wheels? You bet. Advanced lighting package? Oh yeah. The Bozard team works their magic. From bumper to tailgate, I'm making this truck mine. It's everything that I wanted and more. From the field to the gym to weekend adventures. This truck's built for my journey. Bozard built. Customized for your lifestyle, built to exceed your expectations. Check out the inventory and available options at bozardbuilt.com. Unleash your dream ride. Customized, covered, and Bozard approved.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC, we are professional grade. If you need a quality play this football season at your home, call That One Painter First Coast. Locally owned and operated, experienced employees, no builder-grade materials. And there's more, and for that, we throw it to Noah Schlicksup. That One Painter First Coast can apparently help your kicking game, too.
Well, after my failure on skinny sticks last year on Creekside game day, I've spent a lot of time out here at Creekside practicing my kicks. There's only one issue. How is that even possible? The good news is I know exactly who can help. That One Painter can handle all your painting needs, from field goal posts to cabinets to stucco. They got you covered. Though they may not be able to help with my kicking, they can certainly help with the posts. Call That One Painter First Coast today for all your painting needs at 904-495-1373.
Everyone loves a good game night. Here you don't have to be the host. You don't have to clean up. They bring the food and drinks to you, and you can watch whatever you want on the big screens. It's more than a card room. It's a night full of fun with friends. Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now the newest location here in St. Augustine, right off 95 at exit 311. A brand new clean room, a full bar and menu, my favorite sushi in town. And I love the fries too. You don't have to just play poker at Best Bet. That's why I come over here to the table games and play one card poker. That's a pretty good card and a win. One card poker is like war as a kid, you against the dealer. And this isn't the only fun table game to play. A friendly staff, a lot of fun. It's a good night out at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and the newest location in St. Augustine. You can be a serious player or a novice. It doesn't matter. If winning equals fun, you're a winner every time at Best Bet. I'll save you a seat, and I'll see you down here at Best Bet St. Augustine.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, or shall we call it the Austin and Casey Show, because Casey Kurtz in the house going to help us drive this thing home for the weekend. Jason Hamby pushing all the right buttons. Casey, what's up, man?
What's up, dog?
How we doing?
Chilling, surviving, thriving, all the things. I wouldn't say thriving, but surviving, alive. We're here. We're doing it.
We are here and we are doing it. Lions game. Dan Campbell, thoughts?
I respect it. And
right.
I was kind of looking at some stuff this morning, and I was listening to something that I thought was an interesting point. Like, they went for it on 4th down, 3 times in that game?
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's something to be said for, I think, what Doug Peterson was trying to do a couple years ago. You go for it so often on 4th down that it's routine.
Sure.
And I know Mark Schlereth had some interesting comments this week that we did not like, but he had some this morning that were interesting. It's like, if you don't go on 4th down, hardly ever, you do it 8 times a year or something. Every time you do it, it's kind of like, but if you do it 50 times a year, it's just another down.
Yeah.
Like, you can get comfortable in it. So, shout out to him for it. But also, like, I know there's a risk there. You have the best offensive line in the sport. Montgomery, it feels like, is unstoppable most of the time.
Who you telling?
I feel like you got to.
Got to.
Because I feel like Jordan Love's going down and scoring. I really do. Like, they were, in that second half, their offense was clicking.
Yeah. Watson was having a big second half for sure. Christian Watson.
Yeah. And I don't know who was on him most of the time, but he toasted that guy multiple times.
Yeah.
So
Was
you
it
take
Kirby?
that into
Might
play.
have been.
Kirby Joseph, the guy who was kind of, remember him and Tucker Kraft were having that spat and whatever.
Yeah. But, like, he's toasted him multiple times in the game.
Yeah.
So, like, you think about that if you're Dan Campbell, like, I'm one bad step away from losing. So
for sure.
I respect it.
I mean, do you think Dan Campbell even has an analytics guy? Like you know how like we're so like
probably not.
deep in the analytics. Do you think Campbell even has one?
Nah, he's like, we're just gonna do it.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna waste my money on someone to tell me what to do. I'm just gonna take it upon myself.
Bro is literally playing Madden in real life. It's basically what it is.
No,
like,
absolutely.
I was playing NCAA the other night, going for it on like the opponent's 7. Like I got no shot here, and I'm going.
Yeah.
And Dan Campbell's doing it in real life. It's crazy.
Yeah. And then since we have you in the studio, Casey, by the way, you got Matt Kane Cooper, Snap. Casey showed up to work. Where's he been? Where you been, man?
I got fired.
There it is. Well, you're still on Wednesdays, though, with me.
Yeah. But in a full-time basis, Brent told me to go away. So I don't actually work here. So the only times I'm here is when Brent is not here.
It's a freelancer thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm a freelancer too, though, man. It's all good.
Look at us.
Yeah, look at us, man. Freelancing our way through life.
Is that a yellow shirt?
Yeah, it's a yellow shirt.
I'm stunned by this development.
I know, right? Color?
Just, yeah.
Yeah. Go and put me on the full screen here. Yeah, it's a yellow shirt.
Why? Just because? I didn't even know you owned colorful shirts.
Do you want the honest answer, or do you want the one that's going to sound good? You want both?
Oh, I definitely
The honest answer is the only thing that was clean.
I don't want...
kind of. Yeah, it's clean.
Oh, that's fair.
It's clean.
I don't want anything that sounds good. I just want the truth.
Okay, well, I think with my skin tone, it doesn't do a bad job, like, complimenting it.
Sure.
I mean, right now it's, a little whiter, but, because it was $4 from Old Navy.
Okay. I respect that.
That's heat.
We good?
Yeah, we're good.
Thanksgiving special, $4 from Old Navy?
Old Navy does have some deals.
Well, here's the thing. Hey, Old Navy, cut the endorsement, because this is an Old Navy sweatshirt too, by the way.
Really? Doubling down.
Well, because I mess with Old Navy just because they have like the XLT sizes.
Okay.
So like big and tall.
Okay.
Because I just can't go to and this is online, but I can't go to the store and get, because they don't have big and tall in the store.
Yeah.
You have to go online. But like a lot, like Nike and stuff, they don't do big and tall. So like the average consumer. Now, when I played football and I was sponsored by Nike, well, yeah, then I got the big and tall sizes. But you just can't go on the Nike website and get big and tall. Old Navy, you can. And it's reasonably priced.
Deals.
Old Navy, cut the check.
I would say deals.
Hamby, you rocking Old Navy?
No problem.
Okay, cool.
Right, very good.
All right, we're good now?
Just surprised to see it is all. That's why I brought it up.
Did you want another black shirt for the day?
I just didn't expect yellow.
Okay, gotcha. I know. Yellow's kind of out of my comfort zone a little bit, but I'm trying to be more positive because this week was, kind of left us in the dumps a little bit. Kind of left me frustrated.
Bad week.
Casey, feel free to comment on your Houston Texans of everything that's transpired the past couple of days.
Not a good look for the boys, huh?
Not a good look.
Just not good overall. Football-wise, first off, they are not as... They are not that... it's hard to say they're not that good because they are. And I feel like they could at any point... I know it hasn't looked great all year. I feel like at any point they could drop 40 on you.
Sure.
No, you don't think that.
Well...
Oh, I absolutely think
with
that.
Stroud... Dude, I don't know what's up with Stroud, though.
No, it's questionable.
Stroud doesn't... Yeah. I mean, listen,
But
you
they
have
can
one of the
score
best
so
wide
fast.
receivers in the game. That's a fact. You have right now one of the best running backs in the game when he's healthy. That's also a fact. But the quarterback, man,
I got faith in him, though.
okay.
Like, again, I'm not going to sit here and say it's been great. I mean, it's been
Yeah,
questionable this year. But, like, I think it's a little bit naive to say that they could go into a game. Like, we've seen it. Their receivers get behind people.
Dude, but that's the thing, Casey.
If he hits those throws, it's 14 points.
For as good as they're, because I mean, this was my big thing in the offseason here, getting ready for the preseason. It's like Houston Texans are going to be way too talented to fail. Like, you have Stephon Diggs, you have Tank Dell, you have John Mechie, you have Nico Collins, you have Joe Mixon. Like, show me where you fail in that. Show me where you even lose games in that. And they've lost games. Now, yes, injuries happen. Stephon Diggs has been out. Joe Mixon's been out for, I think, a couple games, right? Nico Collins has been out. I get all of that. But I did not expect them to look like this, Casey. Like, I thought we were talking about one of the best offensive teams in the NFL, and they're not there.
Yeah, and that's on Stroud. I'll give you that loud and clear. But again, I'm not out on them. It has been questionable, but they're definitely not what they were last year at this point. But I think they can still get there.
Before you go on, do you think Stroud will rebound next year?
Yeah, I think Stroud's good.
You think he's good? Okay.
Yes, I still feel like you can watch him play and be like, yeah, that guy's like. He's got it.
You see glimpses.
Yeah.
Well, but like,
in total fairness, isn't that what we've seen from Trevor Lawrence? Glimpses
for sure. Yeah, but like once again, and this was me. I held Stroud to a higher level than Trevor Lawrence did. And like, if you go back and watch that Jaguars game, for whatever reason, like Stroud, and I get you got Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker bearing down on you, but Stroud didn't look comfortable at all.
It was uncomfortable. No, I feel like there's been a lot of uncomfortable. So I don't know what that is, but I just have a hard time believing that after what you saw last year and seeing what you've seen this year, I have a hard time saying that the person that's playing quarterback right now in CJ Stroud is the person that it's going to be forever.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a rough patch potentially, even though it has extended for a large part of the year. So I do acknowledge that. I still think they're good.
Now, take us to the hit, the response, everything. What do you got, Casey?
Just terrible, huh?
Yeah.
Like,
not good.
I felt the same way as all you. I was cussing at the TV. Like,
sure.
I was mad, and I was like, hey, I'm not going to lie. Christmas time, a lot of people are buying signed stuff. So I'm packing stuff up left and right. So I'm shipping stuff during the Jags game. And I'm like in and out.
Casey's nonstop working. I respect it, man.
And I'm like walking by the TV. Amanda's asleep on the couch because the Jags put her to sleep. I was like, I don't blame you.
No, you do.
And then I'm like kind of walking away as I see him slide. And I'm like, cool. And then I'm like, is he dead? Like
dropped the merchandise.
It looked terrible. And I said this with Nick the other day, like, and this is going to sound bad. I'm just throwing this out there. When you saw it happen, like the first time to Tua, what's it? The fencing? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, fencing, like the fencing posture.
Yeah. So the first time it happened with Tua when his fingers were, that was terrifying.
It's horrible, man.
As somebody who, I'm not going to say I don't care about Tua, but I don't care about the Miami Dolphins, right?
Sure.
So as like a human, I'm like, oh, that's terrifying. And then there's probably a terrible part of my brain and probably others too that if you just probably don't say it out loud, but I'm going to.
Here we go. He's here for one day, folks.
When it happened the second time to Tua, I was like, seen this before. Like he's probably going to be. It's terrifying, but
oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
and
yeah.
The third time, it's like,
how many more can you take? Or are you still? Yeah.
So and then when it happened to Trevor though, and this is where I feel like everybody's on the same page. I was like, we got to fight that guy right now.
Yeah.
It just hit different because like
that's your guy.
You know what I mean? That's your guy.
No, it's wild that you say because I've never even really thought about it like that.
Yeah.
And like, I have no allegiance to the Miami Dolphins set aside from when, remember South Beach Gary used to call in?
I do.
All the time.
That was
all the time. And by the way,
you missed that.
Is whatever happened to Will Fuller, by the way? Because I remember he wanted Will Fuller. And
wow.
Fuller.
And I tried to talk him off the ledge when the Dolphins didn't get Will Fuller, or when he tried to say like Will Fuller is the real deal, and I'm like,
we had those Will Fuller cards on the back of your computer.
We did have the Will Fuller cards on the back of my computer. He's not in the league anymore. He's gone.
No,
yeah,
he's probably coaching high school football.
Happy trails, man. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Where the first time you saw it with Tua, because you don't see it often, right? Even like in MMA and the UFC, like you see guys get like put down, but you very rarely see like the fencing like. You don't see it a lot.
You don't. It does happen. I mean, you would know better than me, obviously.
Yeah.
It does. I've seen it before in UFC.
No, I've seen it too.
I feel like the UFC though does a good job of and this is where I think the NFL is questionable with it. Like, if somebody gets knocked out in the UFC, I feel like their first move isn't like, all right, let's keep the camera on him. Like, they pan away.
Oh, yeah.
Because, and this is just my idea on it, is like, you don't really know what just happened. Like, after he gets, you don't know how that person, you don't know how long it's taken him to get up.
Yep.
So I feel like UFC does a good job of like waiting until that person is back in it to kind of go and put the camera on. So I feel like that's why you don't see it a ton in UFC, because they won't show it to you. NFL is like, let's show it 6 times on replay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do we need to? Because that's terrifying.
Yeah. Well, then we have Al-Shaair post the whole Joker thing, which thank you for cutting that up and sharing, because, I mean, I share my feelings on it. What'd you think about the Eric Armstead? Now, here's the thing. I thought it may have been an accident, because I've been on Twitter a couple times where I'm like, I search something and I'm scrolling through and maybe I accidentally like something. So, like, you know, Johnny in the middle of South Dakota who commented on CM Punk coming back to WWE may have got a like from me, and he's like, oh, cool. What? You know, like, just randomly. Like, it happens. It does. Especially, you know, I got a small screen. So it does happen. So I was thinking, like, okay, well, maybe Eric Armstead, you know, made a mistake. Maybe he's a former teammate. Maybe he accidentally liked it. And maybe Eric Armstead will come out and say, I accidentally liked it. Something like that. No, but what are your thoughts about it, Casey?
Bad. Not just, this is dramatic, but like borderline the worst thing you can do in the situation, right? Because obviously if you're the player, you're not going to come out and say, like, I condone it. That's, you know, my former teammate. But like, to acknowledge the thing that put your current quarterback out for the season. Yeah. And like, we don't know. It might never be the same again. Like, we don't know. It looked terrifying on the field. So I don't know how you do that, and I get it.
Hey, do you know how you do it? You text your former teammate and make sure he's okay. Yeah. And then you text Trevor.
That's fair.
You don't have to go on Instagram and like a post featuring the Joker and then make it all public.
Yeah, there's quite literally a million other things you could do than like the post.
Yeah.
And I just don't like understand. And again, if it's a mistake, it's one thing, but like a guy like Eric Armstead, who he does his own podcast, right?
Yes, he
like,
does.
Bro understands how this world works.
Correct. I would
hope.
You
had to have known that was going to be seen.
What do you think was going to happen?
That's my like. What was the goal to be accomplished here? Are you trying to get cut from the Jags?
Don't go to the sand and get mad when you get sand in your don't go to Don't go to the beach and get mad when you get sand in your shoes, and don't like Aziz Al-Shaair's Joker post when your quarterback got hurt and expect, you know, fans to be, oh, that's cool. That's all good.
In a year that has not been great.
Not how it works. Like, I think, Hamby, do we have the comments? Do we have the reaction?
Got them all.
Let's go to let's see what Eric Armstead had to say about liking Aziz Al-Shaair's tweet or his Instagram post, and see what the whole word was about it.
And real quick, before we play it, this is at the very beginning of him talking.
Okay.
Right? So that just context.
Sure.
And for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Just what does that mean for you?
Asked about Walter
I wanted to
Payton.
address something first. Been some talk online. I saw people talking about me liking Aziz's post, and you know, I think it's I wanted to address that because just where everyone was, you know, everyone has their opinions. First off, you know, I love Trevor. He's a great teammate, great player, you know, great person, and you know what happened, seeing him getting injured was terrible. You know, you never want to see that happen to a teammate of yours. And you know, also too, Aziz is a great friend of mine. We were locker mates for 4 years, right next to each other, and we have a great relationship as well too. And so it was a weird situation for me, for sure, seeing my teammate get injured, but also you know, a friend of mine being in a situation like that. And you know, he was definitely in the wrong, and you know, made a bang play that, you know, I wish that could have back. But you know, to see the ridicule and him being ostracized in the way he is, and the remarks that people are making about him is also terrible. And you know, I feel like I can support my great teammate Trevor, and also I can support a friend in a rough situation when people are being, you know, racist towards him, and you know, a lot of hateful things being said about him. I know his character. He's a good dude, and you know, I talked to him and told him that
what he did was wrong, or he made a mistake. But that's what happens when you're sometimes in a football game. So just wanted to address that first. That I spoke with both of them. I spoke with Trevor as well too. If he saw the like or whatever people were talking about, and me and him spoke about it, and me and him are good as well too, and he completely understands, and it was good to have a conversation with him and check on him too, and see how he was doing, and so yeah, just getting that out there.
You want to go first or should I? Or Hamby, you want to go? Somebody want to go?
I'm not going first.
Double Dutch? Who's going in first here?
Here, my biggest takeaway from that is this. If you said you talked to them, both of them, but mostly Aziz in this scenario, what's the point of the like?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you knew that this was going to happen, and obviously, apparently you did, we don't have to do this thing on social media that everybody tries to do. Talk to the dude. And to be honest, at that point, you can say whatever you want on a phone call with the person that nobody else is on. However you actually truly feel about what happened on the field, you can say on the phone to that person, and then you move on with life. You don't scroll through your Instagram and go, double tap. Like, I that's the part about it that just annoys. Like, can we just be adult? Can we just be people and normal humans? Like, what are we doing?
So, yeah, Casey, I think you said it really eloquently. And here's what I don't get. Eric Armstead's 31 years old. If this was a rookie, if this was someone who grew up in the social media era, who was raised by the internet, I get it, man, right? You want to like the cryptic stuff. You want to maybe cause a little stuff behind the scenes. I get all of that. But here's the difference between pillars and guys that you want to go to war with and guys that you want to question of what their intentions are. You have a rookie out of FSU named Jarrian Jones who got in front of the camera and said, I did it for my brother. And he kept using brother. Didn't say, yeah, he's a great teammate. Yeah, he's a great brother. Family. And I'll never forget what Joe Cullen told me. And I agree with him here. Like, we want to say football is all about family. It's not. It's a brotherhood. Because with family, and anybody can relate to this, we don't get to pick our family. But every once in a while, you got to drag the weak one along. Every once in a while, you got to drag someone along that maybe you don't agree with, maybe you don't want to be with, but they're your family, so you got to drag them along because that's what family does. That's not how the NFL works. In the NFL, if you're the weak one, if you have to get dragged along, your ass is getting cut. Enough said, it's not a family. It's a brotherhood. And Joe Cullen, the first day I got to the stadium, told me that, and he always reiterated that, and I will never forget it. Football is not a family. We want it to be. It sounds great. It sounds great in, the drops and everything. It's a brotherhood. So when you have Jarrian Jones throwing punches, and maybe the head coach, Doug Peterson, didn't like it at the time and tried to scold him a little bit. And then his response is, I'm not going to talk about, what the Texans coach said, what D'Amico Ryan said. All I know is that Trevor Lawrence was my brother, and I was sticking up for my brother. That's all you got to know. That's all you got to know and what type of dude you have on the team and what type of dude you need going forward. Extension. On the spot. Eric Armstead. I get it. You're at a juxtaposition because you have a brother that you used to play with, I guess, and then you have a brother, but you don't call them brothers, you call them teammates. Whatever that is, fine. But there were so many other ways that you could have gone about it. And to prove Casey's point, you have a podcast that you do weekly. I think it went monthly because, the fans had something to say about it in Jacksonville. You got to know this. There's no excuse not to know this. And yes, I understand that Aziz Al-Shaair is getting a lot of hate online that he shouldn't be getting in terms of his religious beliefs, in terms of race. And that's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. But this is the internet, okay? There are no rules on the internet. There are no rules when you can go on Twitter, say whatever you want to say, and there's no repercussions. So you have to accept that. Like, that's just the way the world is. You can try to fight it. You can put out cryptic tweets about the Joker. You can do all this crap. It doesn't matter. It's how it's how it works. It is what it is. And to be somebody in their 30s who should know better, what are you doing for the team? What are you doing for the team when you like a tweet like that, when you like a message like that? And I get Brent can say maybe the players in that locker room don't really care. I don't know about that. What does Jerry Jones got to say about it? What does Jerry Jones got to say when he went to bat for his brother, got in a fight for his brother, is going to get fined, get a nice brown UPS parcel in his locker for his brother, and then you have one of your teammates going, or one of your supposed brothers going, hey, I like this tweet about the Joker. Let me go ahead and like that. Let me go ahead and double tap that. Oh, it wasn't an accident, by the way, because I admitted to doing it. What do you think Jerry Jones thinks about it? So no, I don't think it's just a harmless thing on Instagram, on Twitter. I think there's more repercussions to it. I think there's a butterfly effect to it. And guess what, Eric Armstead? Maybe you don't want to be here right now, and I'm sure a lot of Jaguars fans don't want you here right now. But the fact of the matter is we signed you to a contract longer than 1 year. So you might be here next year. So please at least try to act like you want to be here, and please act like you got your brothers back in Trevor Lawrence, the captain, the general. Amy, go ahead. Sorry. Went on a little bit of a rant.
Yeah, obviously I was frustrated when it happened. To be honest, I dialed it back a little bit, just a little bit, when I heard what he had to say. For me, and again, the way I feel about it is the same. But hearing that it was his locker mate for a long time, a couple percentage points made me understand a tad bit. Okay. I'll say that initially. I was like, okay. Because at first, as soon as he liked it, I was like, what the heck? This is a random, like, does he even follow him? It is a difference.
Yeah.
It is a difference between that
You didn't know the context.
You know, a guy that for 4 years you probably talked to more than half the people of the outside world.
On the same side of the ball, obviously.
Right.
Probably lined up right next to each other. Yeah,
right.
I'm sure there was some sort of camaraderie there, yes.
However, when you say you felt like you could support him, bro, Aziz don't need that. He doesn't need a like to know that you support him. Again, to Casey's point, shoot him a text, shoot him a phone call, right? You can do that. So we got to know the optics. Again, he has no excuse. It doesn't surprise me also that Trevor was no problem, because that's who Trevor is with stuff like this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected anything less.
Yeah.
I don't think it's about Trevor, though. It's about, Jerry, and I think would be pissed.
Yeah.
Evan Ingram.
Guys,
Evan Ingram, who was in that fight as well.
A lot of those
should
guys.
be mad.
I think a lot of guys would be actually a little, like, at least like, hey, why'd you like it?
Yeah,
you know, like,
it's not, shoot the guy a text or a phone call, man. It's like, you don't, in this day and age, and you're a professional football player, nobody shows their support through social media anyway.
Especially a grown-ass man who's in his 30s.
Yeah, so...
Like, that's what I can't understand. If this was a rookie, sorry, Hammy, go ahead.
No, the last point I want to address and more open it up again is when he's like, I told him it was wrong. And then right after, we got the words bang, bang, which obviously draws that line back to kind of gray area, understanding the hit, all of those things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to judge intentions. I just thought it was wrong was kind of he wanted to really say that.
Yep.
But that's not exactly how he felt.
Yeah. And listen, he's self-aware. He has a podcast.
We're picking at straws here, though, too. It's impossible to know all of
the intentions.
Of course.
Yeah. Let me say this, too, about the whole situation. And it's crazy that we're I get it, man. This is, go on Twitter. Go anywhere. Go on any radio station. Like, this is still talked about. Who cares about the Tennessee Titans? This is what we're doing right now. And I get it. I keep hearing how great of a guy Aziz Al-Shaair is.
I was going to bring this up.
I keep hearing about it. JJ Watt, everyone wants to tell me how great Aziz Al-Shaair is. How do I know? All I have to go off of is what I see on film. All I have to go off is what I see in the game. I've said this before. This goes back to the whole Ndamukong Suh thing. Okay? I had a preconceived, and maybe arguably people want to call him one of the dirtiest players in NFL history. I shared a locker room with him.
He had some moments.
Okay? I sat next to him for 5 or 6 weeks.
Bro was stomping.
I had a preconceived notion of who Ndamukong Suh was. We're in the combine together. I've crossed past him many times. He's a very intimidating looking dude. Never really talked to him. I get to the Detroit Lions, and I'm like, all right, man, Calvin Johnson. Wow, this dude's world class. But all right, Ndamukong Suh, man, let's see who you are. And I have never judged a book so wrong in my entire life based off the cover. Okay, because once I got to know Ndamukong Suh as a teammate, once I got to see how Ndamukong Suh acts in the public, to fans, to kids who aren't even fans, to just staff of a restaurant who maybe don't even know who he is, probably do because it's Detroit instead of Ndamukong Suh. But what I'm saying? It changed my whole perception. Oh, and by the way, one of the most intelligent dudes you ever come across.
It's interesting.
He would have conversations, or I'm just like, oh, okay. I went to public school, and I wasn't really paying attention a lot of Murray stuff. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, man, in terms of global economics and stuff.
Was he Nebraska?
Nebraska. Engineering major, I believe. Wow. Yeah. Smart dude. Very intelligent dude. So that was me judging a book by its cover. I meet him, and wow, was I wrong. Now, I get cut from the Lions. I go back home for Thanksgiving then to Wisconsin, and everybody wanted to tell me, because it's ironic, Green Bay was getting ready to play Detroit that year in the Thanksgiving game.
Right.
And all my friends go the same thing. Man, Ndamukong Suh must have been like just this giant a-hole. I can't, what was he like? Man, he must have sucked. And I told him, I'm like, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I know Packers fans, I know he's very hated. But the dude that I met was actually pretty cool, man. And I was very impressed with how smart he was. But this is my point. My friends didn't see that side of him.
Right.
How would they? How could they? So they had their notions of this guy's a dirty player because why? What they see on TV. And you know what? Some of the things Ndamukong Suh did on the field, I'll be the first one to say they probably weren't right. When you're stepping on ankles, the extra pushes, the stuff in the face mask, yeah, that's probably not right. And this is coming from a guy who probably fought more than anybody in practice. So I'll be the first one to tell you that Ndamukong Suh, I think, is a great human being and a smart individual, but on the field, yeah, he wasn't the cleanest player. I think anybody would tell you that. And I will always say this. If Ndamukong Suh would have been born in a different era, he would have been celebrated. But being in the era that he was born in, he was kind of crucified as the villain. And I get it. So then this circles back to Azeez Al-Shaair. Everybody can tell me how great of a guy he is. Everybody can tell me how nice of a person he is. I don't know that. Casey doesn't know that. Hamby doesn't know that. Jaguars fans don't know that. Do we care to know that? Probably not. I don't have time in the day to learn somebody new, to go out to dinner with somebody. I'm busy. Casey, you busy?
Very busy.
We're all set. Appreciate you. So all we have to go off of is what we see in the games. And what we see in the games is countless times of you doing dirty stuff. So that's who you are, right? Because this is football. Fans don't care about the player behind the mask. Sometimes they do, okay? But let's call a spade here. Who you are, what you bring to the table in terms of self-worth, yeah, you're doing stuff in the community and that's great, but it's what you do on the field. And that's a fact. Not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong. I'm saying that's the way that it is. And what we see on the field from you is a dirty player. So I don't need Eric Armstead telling me how great of a person he is. I don't need former teammates, coaches telling me how great of a player he is, because I can go to exhibit A, B, C, D, E, F and show he's dirty.
But yeah, I think it's well said. But going off of what you were saying about Suh, then what has happened obviously cannot surprise you in terms of every player that he played with coming down. I mean, not every, but a ton of guys are saying that, he's a good dude because of what they've seen. I mean, it's the same.
No, for sure. But Casey, at the end of the day, you have to admit that shot on Trevor was cheap. See, just like if I was on the team, the Lions, when Suh stomped that dude's leg, I probably would have said, you know what? That wasn't right. And he shouldn't have did that. And that probably doesn't make him look good. Right now, I would have been scared for the repercussions because, well, Sue is a very intimidating person.
Big human.
So get ready to square up, I guess, in the locker room. But it's the truth, right? Like, two things can be true. You can be a fantastic person and a great human being, but you can also be kind of a dirty football player.
That's fair.
Both those things can be true.
No, that's fair. I listen, I'm with you. The amount of he's a good dude stuff is annoying, but it's because we're sitting where we're sitting. And I think there's, a couple things here. Like, if you're sitting where the Jags fans and where we're sitting, you hate the dude. There's no other way to put it. And I feel like rightfully so for what happened.
Yeah.
If you're on the Houston side, obviously you're looking at it differently.
Yep.
But then the side that I think really carries the weight here is the side that has nothing to do with it. Like a Jeff Saturday, for that example.
Correct.
People that didn't play with him or didn't coach him. And the majority of those people are saying, yeah, that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So that's the part where I'm like, that's where I think a lot of the weight comes from. In my opinion with Eric Armstead, I think the only reason that you should even be acknowledging this or doing this or saying to him, because it was a dirty hit, I think the only thing you should be saying in that space is, it is hard to play defense in the NFL. It is hard to tackle the quarterback.
It is.
That's the only thing you should be agreeing with him in this circumstance.
And ironically, it's because of Tom Brady, and Tom Brady's out there saying, well, if you saw it, it should be like,
I'm sick. I'm sick of Tom Brady. I'm gonna keep it real. I hated him when he played. I am sick of bro. He's mid at announcing.
Hold up. Okay, you may have hated Tom Brady, but you had to respect him, right?
Respect him.
Okay, as a player.
Okay, in announcing, bro is mid. Tony Romo came in and knew exactly what was happening every play. Tom Brady's announcing is like,
I'm not gonna lie,
it's
rough.
So
it's
you
rough.
see here,
It's rough.
They're playing football. Thanks, Tom. Bro, I was confused. Get Greg Olsen back in there. But I'm sick of Tom Brady, bro. The takes, I just don't need to know what he's thinking, I guess.
Which is wild.
Because I thought it would be better. Like, it's not just the commentary part, because that is rough. But it's when he's just talking about, teams and football. Like, when they interview him, after the games, because the Fox crew will have him on. Or, he'll go on Cowherd. I'm just like,
dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, I had high expectations for Tom Brady doing the announcing. Dude, it's the GOAT, right? Like, how wouldn't he be able to crush us out of the park? How wouldn't he be able to, call every single play that's about to happen?
That's what I'm saying.
And he doesn't. But it really makes me, and I get people want to hate on Tony Romo, it makes me appreciate Tony Romo even more.
I like Tony Romo.
But then it also makes me wonder, okay, well, what does Brady have then where he won all these Super Bowls and Romo couldn't win one? Because Romo's calling out every single defense, every single play.
Turns out it was Belichick the whole time.
Well, that's not the case.
Brady was just above average.
Because he won one in Tampa.
Okay.
But no, it's yeah.
Got lucky in Tampa.
Got lucky.
Look at that team in Tampa. They were stacked. Bro was just throwing it up to Evans.
They're stacked. But no, I agree with you. I'm a little disappointed with Tom Brady in the announcing.
I feel like,
commentating.
Just the whole thing. But back to what he thinks. I feel like if you're a quarterback in this scenario, I guess outside of C.J. Stroud, but even C.J. Stroud was like,
Yeah.
He stood up for his guy, but also he was like, I feel like if you're a quarterback, you all have to be on the same page here. You can't do that.
Thank you.
It doesn't matter what you actually
especially
think.
Tom Brady, who, dude, how many
rules? If that
rules?
had happened to Tom Brady, they would have kicked dude out of the league.
Oh, you had New England fans storming NFL headquarters.
They would have been on the first flight to Jacksonville.
That too.
I mean, it would have been a national security issue.
Yes. Oh, Roger Goodell would have had to go in a bunker.
Once Tom Brady regained consciousness, he would have been throwing he would have been fighting the refs. That's the part that it's just so, the whole thing is just so ridiculous. And it almost, to be honest, is kind of unbelievable that it happened in this age of the NFL.
Yeah.
Hits happen late.
Yeah.
Stuff happens. I get it.
Correct.
It is almost improbable that he went headhunting on him.
Yeah.
Knowing how this is going to play.
Well,
it's
amazing, and we'll go to break here in a second. Hamby, I know we're running over time a little bit. That's what happens when you're having fun. It's amazing that the hit happened. It's amazing at the retaliation or lack of there from the opposing team.
Yep.
And it's amazing how many people want to pedestal themselves as coming across as macho or badasses, saying, well, should have slid a little sooner. That's football. That's football. Oh, we're all really impressed, Mark Schlereth. Yeah, you're a badass, dude. And I get it. Mark Schlereth has some good takes. I did not agree with the one, obviously, on the slide.
That one was absolutely terrible, and it's just, it's bad. It's really, really bad. But, I guess on par for what has happened in Jacksonville this year.
Do you think Tom Brady will be back next year calling NFL games, or will he be demoted to like Missouri Valley games, call Murray State?
Dude, I would love to see him demoted, but I think that 10-year, $6 billion deal means we're kind of stuck. Now, the only good news is the Jags are so terrible, we'll never have to listen to it. It'll be years before Brady's calling the Jags. You know Romo's only done the Jags in Jacksonville once?
Never knew that.
It was the Steelers game. It got flexed originally.
Do you think he improves, though, Brady? Like he's going to get better, right? He's got to improve. Yeah.
I would.
Or Nickelodeon games, maybe?
Him and Nate Burleson. Dude, Greg Olson has to be furious because Greg Olson is good.
Greg Olson is good.
And they're like, hey, go. And he's like,
well, I mean, but can you, Casey, I get hindsight's 2020, but you can't fault him.
No.
When the GOAT says he wants to do something, you kind of got to abide by the GOAT.
Yeah, but can we start a new precedent? Let's find out if they're good first.
Good point. It's a great point.
It's easier to say this now, I should say. Originally, when the whole thing got announced, in my head I was like, I will watch this because I want to hear what Tom Brady has to say.
Sure.
So I thought it'd be good.
Yeah.
To this point now, there is no scenario where I'm like, I'm watching that because of Tom Brady. Like, he's done like 6 million Cowboys games this year.
Yeah.
I don't care about the Cowboys. I'm not turning it on to hear what Brady has to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I watched a crappy game the other week because Greg Olson was doing it. Mm-hmm. I think it was Atlanta. Sorry, Hamby. I know you like Cousins, but...
We'll get into that later. But all right, Ham, let's go ahead and go to break here a little bit. Speaking of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, Bill Belichick trying to get back in the coaching ranks in a very unsuspecting job interview. Let's go ahead and talk about that next year on the Brent Austen Show. Tonight too. Check out the we'll talk about rivalries, Casey, that actually live up to the expectations.
Yeah.
Jacksonville Icemen, Florida Everblades. These two teams do not like each other, and they will be on local television. Xfinity, channel 29, 220, and 1184.
That's a lot.
AT&T Uverse, channel 31, DirecTV 53, and Dish TV, channel 32. It'll be brought to you by Action Sports Jax and My TV Jax. Yeah, Xfinity, you know.
There's 1,184 channels on Xfinity, and
Xfinity's bringing it.
Still nothing on.
Xfinity's bringing it.
I was scrolling through the TV this morning and couldn't find anything. 1,100 channels.
Casey, get that premium package, man.
I guess.
But yeah, it'll be a great game. Florida Everblades taking on the Jacksonville Icemen. Starts at 7 p.m.
Welcome to Everbank Stadium. We call the stadium the bank. Here inside the Jaguars locker room, this is called the Vault. The Vault is a special place on game days. You can feel the energy and excitement as the Jaguars get ready to take the field. And Everbank has made a way for Jaguars fans to be a part of the action. Each home game, Everbank will select a winner and a guest to be a part of the Shadows. Be there up close and personal when the Jaguars leave the Vault to take the field. Not only that, the Vault Lounge provides a VIP pregame tailgate experience. High-end food, beverages, music, and more. Want a chance to be part of a VIP experience at a Jaguars game? Enter today at everbank.com/shadows, and you could find yourself in the shadows with the Jaguars.
For the game day hustle and every day in between. Juggling my show, Jag Social, to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242. You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing. Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Right now, save 10% off a new Rinnai tankless water heater. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579. It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access. Welcome to Spring Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence. You can bring your party or event to Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need String Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports. Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Welcome back to the Austin and Casey Show. Brent Martineau in Nashville. Hopefully gonna eat some Hattie B's chicken.
That's
Casey,
where Bro went.
Huh? Yeah, that's where he's at. Obviously covering the Jags. I think he went there a little early because he wanted to check out some restaurant stuff with the family. So, yeah, it's a good family place. You ever been to Nashville?
Hate it.
Hate it, huh?
I think it's the worst.
Not fun, huh?
Not fun. Not a good. I have been. Not a good time.
Because of the music or what?
No, I like the music.
I know you do.
Just think it's really overrated.
I don't mind. Like, to me, Nashville to me, well, I guess Broadway. Broadway to me is just New Orleans with country music.
Interesting. Never been to New Orleans, actually.
New Orleans is fun. I love New Orleans.
Heard it smells bad.
Yeah.
Not the Jacksonville.
That's I mean, it's got history, man.
Yeah.
It's got charm. It's got the smell.
Yeah, no, we did this, I think, last year around this time when they played in Nashville.
You guys are talking about if you like Nashville or not?
Well, we were talking about it, and I said it was the most overrated city in America, and then I got berated for 8 minutes by those two. So, yeah, I thought it was just okay. I thought it was mid. Think it's, everyone's saying how great it is. I think it's overrated. And I like country music, but it's just, I'm just not in. Hamby?
Only been once. I stuffed my face with food.
Okay. Yeah, my bad.
Was there for I think 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it.
Yep.
I'd probably have to go a couple more times, but for what it was, I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I've experienced it a couple times. Obviously, it's pretty close to Murray, where I went to college. I mean, to me, it's Broadway, but like, I don't know, man. Broadway reminds me a lot like of being back in Wisconsin with like all the little taverns and the bars and everything, which are fun. But it's just, I'm not the biggest country music guy, and I'm not the biggest like bachelorette, drunk, partying, screaming kind of guy either. I'm more of a chill dude. So
miss me with that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's fun. I enjoy it. Hot chicken's good. I like the hot chicken.
I will say one of the wildest things that probably nobody else would care about. In their airport, you can like open carry your drink. Sorry, not weapons. Like if you, not to be confused, sorry.
Open container.
Open container, thank you. That's a lot better. If you go like, you know how like if you go to like a bar in an airport anywhere else, like, you're there, you're at the bar.
Yeah.
You can go in the Nashville airport and just like order something and take it with you. It's kind of weird. Not, I mean, you only know that if you've spent, 10, 12 hours in the airport at one given time, but you can't do that and it's interesting.
So I think I might have showed this before on the old show a long time ago, but my Nashville story that I have, you guys ever heard of a place called Tootsie's? It's like it's one of the most famous honky tonks.
I think I have just because I think I've heard this story.
Okay. Hamby, you ever heard of a place called Tootsie's?
No, I have not.
Okay, it's called Tootsie's Orchid Lounge. And I was in Nashville. This is during the off season, hanging out with some friends and everything. And I'm in Tootsie's Orchid Lounge. And it's on like a Saturday night, so it is packed. That's how honky tonks work on the weekends. There's nowhere to... It actually kind of sucks because like you want to get a beer, but you can't like maneuver to even get a beer. It's like that packed. There's a band playing on stage, and it's like one of like the biggest honky tonks. Like if you play on a Saturday at Tootsie's like at 10 o'clock, you're doing something for yourself. I'm sure Jelly Roll probably did that one time. Like
Jelly Roll is much above that, but he probably did.
So to do Tootsies and everything, and obviously have a couple barley pops, feeling good about ourselves. And I guess like whispers start to get around the bar, the honky tonk, that I play for the Tennessee Titans. Cool. So the singer at the time of the band that was playing, it was all cover songs. Goes, hey, I heard we got a Tennessee Titan in the house. And like I look around a little bit, and he's like, yeah. He's like looking at me. I'm like,
you're like, oh, where is he?
I'm like, all right. Because at this point, I'll be honest, I'm drunk. I don't care. So I get on stage. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So we sang together. I sang Garth Brooks' "Friends in Low Places." And like, keep in mind, it's
impressive.
It's not a karaoke bar.
Sure.
So like, I gotta have the words down pat. There's no screen, which I did.
Nice.
I mean, come on, man. I grew up in Wisconsin. I know Garth Brooks' "Friends in Low Places."
Sure.
And then they brought me back for an encore because I guess I did a good job, and we sang the Kid Rock song. Sweet summer, like feeling summertime and whatever. That one didn't know all the words too, but it's all right, man. We got through it.
Nice.
Now, crowd's going crazy. Think I play for the Tennessee Titans. How do I end my performance?
I have a feeling I know.
I go, hey, everybody, it's been great. Thanks for having me on stage. Duval as loud as I can.
That's what I figured.
Drop the microphone in the most disrespectful manner ever, and you've never seen any more confused faces in the middle of Tootsie's Orchid Lounge than you did that night. And I walked out, and it is what it is, man.
Nice.
But yeah, that's my Nashville story.
I like it.
Take the fire you want, man. But we did have a little bit of a tease. Actually, real quick, can I share, since we're on Hamby, you had a question, by the way, too. Surprising my nephew with an outfield glove for Christmas, A2000 or Heart of the Hide. I had a Heart of the Hide growing up, and I was not disappointed. What do you think, Hamby?
I'm actually responding to them in the chat right now.
I mean, you can just say it.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't know if we were gonna.
Oh no, that's fine, man. Like we had a Christmas idea. Hit him with it.
Mr. Hugo, not the most up to date with all the new baseball equipment, despite coaching a travel team for 4 years and should. But obviously, A2000s never go wrong. I use one of those, and I use 44 Pro gloves. So unfortunately, I don't have an endorsement, so can't harp too much about them. But if you're looking for like to put a little customization on there, maybe a name, maybe a quick word or two, they make quality stuff, and a lot of my players use them as well. But a lot of A2000s.
Cut the check. Is that Mizuno?
Wilson.
I'm way off. Yeah.
Those 44s are sick.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Okay.
But it's weird. Like obviously, when you have teenage or I guess 14, 15-year-olds now, it's always what's the new bat? What's all this? I'm so out of that world.
Yeah.
Like the other coach, the guy I actually play poker with, he knows all of it. And he's great. But yeah, I'm like I don't know what these kids are using. I couldn't even tell you. All I know is a lot of them use the number 2 pencil bats now. Y'all seen those?
There's actually it looks like a number 2 pencil.
It is.
I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty badass.
Like we got a lot of guys with that.
That's wild. Who makes? I mean, we're figuring it out.
Victus.
Who?
Victus. They're
don't they make watches?
They make like Bryson Stott even used it. So you've probably seen.
Yeah, I've seen that in like real. Not that anything else is not real life. It's all real life. But like I've seen it in that scenario. I didn't know they made. Are they aluminum?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty sick.
They'll make any kind.
That is pretty cool.
I've never once heard of Victus. I have not
Me
played
neither.
baseball in a long time, apparently.
Like I said, thought they made watches. Now, all right, so since we're on like the kids real quick, did the whole Hamby, where's the light thing that I talked about? Because I forgot the name of the road. Where it's like the lights that you go drive by.
Oh, Gervin.
Gervin, yeah.
go.
So I we need one of those for the studio. Sell the
cool.
Pac-Man machine and let's get one of these for the studio.
Sorry.
How much?
That's unbelievable.
How much?
For a
Not enough, I'll tell you that much.
$200.
Oh, dude.
That's it. Looks like they're out of stock pretty
Getting
heavy.
one right
Every
now.
picture we got's out of stock.
I mean, can you blame them?
No, I'd get one.
That might be the coolest looking bed I've ever seen.
Yeah, $200.
That's a deal.
That's a deal.
It's only $200.
That's gonna sit bedside with me, you know, just for intruders.
Who'd you say, Victus?
Yeah.
They trash?
No.
So why the hell was I paying more for a Cat 5 all those years ago?
Look, I don't know, but because
You remember the Cat 5s?
Yeah.
I
Oh
knew
yeah.
you would.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Because it does seem like most bats seem like they're $500 nowadays.
I'm so old, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I feel that way too.
Never heard of the Cat 5?
Nope. We had like the red line and all that
thing
good stuff.
raked.
I mean, nothing beats
Omaha.
an Orange Stealth. Did you guys have the Orange Stealth?
Oh yeah.
I remember the orange stealth.
Remember the red one?
Yes. All right.
Nothing beats an Orange
So getting back before we get to Bill Belichick.
Wait, what about Gervin?
Yeah, I'm talking. I'm getting back before we get back to that. Yeah. So last night, my friend, their daughter, who was 5 years old, me and my son took it upon ourselves to go out to see the lights on Gervin. I've never seen him, never even heard about it, honestly, until my friend brought it
Really?
up. So I was excited. I'm like, I had pretty high hopes, and guess what? It was delivered. It was a really cool experience.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. Have you guys done this before?
Yeah, I live right there.
Okay. Oh, right on. I should have stopped by and said what's up.
You should have.
So, obviously when I'm in the Bozard built F350,
You took the truck.
Bro.
gotta take the truck. gotta take the truck. All right, because from what I was told, you need to have something with a nice sunroof. Well, look no
That's actually
further.
a good call.
Look no further because it's got a sunroof. So, we get there, and you know how like when you have something that's like it goes a certain way in your head, and you want to like make it happen that certain type of way, and then it just goes all downhill and it hits the fan. It's exactly what happened with my first time experience at Gervin. I had the F350, okay? I had the sunroof open. My son's outside. The little girl who's 5, her name is Isla. She's out the window too as well. All the windows are down. We're having a blast, okay?
All right.
I'm like, let me put some Christmas music on. Let's go ahead and get all the emotions. Let's go ahead and get all the ambiance here. We're seeing all these beautiful lights. You got Nightmare Before Christmas. There's a Pokemon house. Like, they covered every single base of Christmas.
They do.
Let's put it over the top with some Christmas music. We get through 2 Christmas songs, and both the kids go, "This is dumb. Can we listen to some like different music?" And I go, okay.
The Christmas music was dumb or the whole experience?
Christmas music was dumb.
All right, fair enough.
Experience is great.
Cool.
I'm like, okay, well, what did you guys have in mind? Like, trying to keep it festive.
Kendrick Lamar.
Well, nope. First thing we had to play because the little one wanted to hear Chapel Roan was Pink Pony Club. So now I'm riding through Gervin in my giant truck. By the way, people recognize me because
Really?
I sit 100 feet up off the ground. It's like, well, this truck's... Oh, hey, that Austin Lane. Blasting Pink Pony Club with all the windows down and the sunroof open. And everyone's just like, all right. And if that wasn't good enough, now this one I'm not mad about. But people, especially with families, because there's a lot of families in cars with their windows down, waving Merry Christmas and everything, felt a certain type of way about it. We had to go with No Diggity by Blackstreet. I like the way you work it. No diggity. That's what my son wanted. So now I'm blasting through, these rural neighborhoods with kids. Like the way you work it. No diggity. I like to bag it up.
People are like, this Austin Lane guy's not that good of a guy. As it turns out.
Yeah.
People were thinking.
Yeah. So that was my experience. Still a fun time, but between Pink Pony Club and No Diggity, didn't really get the Christmas ambiance that I wanted. But maybe I did, man.
I can't believe you've never done that before. I didn't even know it was open yet.
I've never heard of it.
Really?
Swear.
Dude, I didn't
know it existed
multiple times a year for the last since we've lived over there.
Wait, so do you actually have to do it yourself? Do you have to put like the lights up and everything?
No, I don't live in there.
Okay, gotcha. But
I
you
live
right
like
by
a
there.
street or two over.
Hamby, you've done it?
I live a street or two over.
And then you've done it, obviously?
What's your address, Hamby?
Just kidding.
I didn't know you lived
Have I done it?
Yeah.
No. Have I been? Yes, plenty.
Okay.
Do you have to wait in line?
Honestly, it wasn't that bad. I mean, there was a line, but it wasn't too shabby. I guess on the weekends and like closer to Christmas, it gets like ridiculous.
Oh, we've waited in line.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say it probably took us to get through. I mean, we had Pink Pony Club, we had Black Street, we had like 2 Christmas songs, and we had some other stuff, some more Chapel Roan. I would probably say it took us like 25, 30 minutes.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. So,
That's
anyways.
pretty cool, though.
Yep, pretty cool. All right, Bill Belichick, gentlemen. Might be back on the coaching radars, but not in a way that we all expect, at least I didn't expect. Interviewed for the North Carolina gig.
I actually like him as a on McAfee, by the way, just for what it's worth.
I haven't really listened to
Don't like Tom Brady. I actually think Belichick's decent.
Really?
Don't get me wrong. It's not the
Witty
greatest
and
thing
stuff?
I've ever heard.
No, but he's witty
yeah,
and
it's kind of
a guy who you think is
expect. Yeah.
But I see a guy who I always thought was kind of just like
a grump.
Thank you very much.
It's kind of like Saban, but just a little because Saban's real good, I think.
Okay, yeah, he's good.
But it's a little less. But like he'll throw some shots from time to time. So he's doing better than Brady. I got to say that.
Here's what I don't get though. Like I still think Bill Belichick could have a coaching spot in the NFL.
He does.
I think there's enough teams that are desperate. How does Bill Belichick handle recruiting? Like, how does Bill Belichick, because the NFL game and the collegiate game are two vastly different things here.
He doesn't. Look.
He doesn't. All right.
Everybody else are the ones he hires guys that will be more than willing to go on the helicopters, go across the country, go find these guys. They bring him into his office. Bill sits back in his little chair, leans back, and puts up his 2 hands and shows them the rings. And that's how recruiting would work, right? Oh, I have 6 Super Bowl rings. Okay. However, that's how recruiting. He's not going and getting on helicopters and going all across the country to go find 18-year-old kids to play on his team. It's not happening. Obviously, that would get the boosters going as well. They'd have more NIL money. That's how that would work. However, this is where I wanted to take this. Before we get to, is it even a possibility? As much as the Super Bowl rings would work as recruiting, whatever, of who he is.
Oh, yeah.
At the same time, curious to get your thoughts on this. Say he's there for 3 years. In a couple of years, teenage football players, Bill Belichick does not mean the same thing to them as it does to us. Okay? Okay, a 15-year-old now who's going to be let's take the 5-star recruit who's 18 in 3 years. They're 15 now, which means that they were born in 09.
What?
Right?
I don't know.
So we're going 3 years into the future.
Yeah.
The kid that was born in 09 was 8 or 9 when Bill won his last Super Bowl, most recent Super Bowl.
Okay, but
they're not watching really. They don't. Their guy is Andy Reid.
Sure.
Their guy is. They weren't alive for the first 3. They were a toddler for the 4th. They were a 5 or however. What was it? The second one? 16. So they were 7, and they were 9 for the last one or whatever, give or take the birthday. It doesn't mean the same thing to them. They would rather play for Dion than Bill Belichick.
Well, I was going to ask you that though. Do the kids really remember Dion? No,
but it doesn't matter because of the social media and the brand.
Bill
Belichick's dated a 20-year-old. That's the brand.
Travis Hunter never watched Deion Sanders play.
You're onto something.
That's the brand.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there, Hamby, for sure.
Okay. So you think is it more just posturing than for Bill Belichick? Like just saying, hey, I could go to North Carolina.
I don't get what the point is.
The only thing I've seen,
it's a waste of time, right?
As a possible explanation is that he just wants to throw this out there, that it's even a possibility that he's interested in college, just in case Ohio State calls. I've seen that on Twitter. That's the only even attempt at explaining why he's done this as a ploy.
So do you think he would have success at Ohio State? Because I get people that want to play, maybe play for Bill Belichick, they don't care, but it's Ohio State, right? I think the
he would
brand
have
still
success. UNC would be 8-4 in the first year.
You think so?
Yes,
okay.
Especially in the ACC.
Yeah.
As far as in-game, obviously we don't think is still a better coach as far as getting the most out of his players and defensive mind. They would be 8-4 as a floor every year in and year out going forward, and they'd be in contention for the ACC championship against your well, Miami, Clemson, and most likely Florida State, whenever they decide to be a football team again, in a program, he would be good. Ohio State, with that talent, he'd probably win a national championship if he had the talent they had this year. It's just but how much is it? Can he relate to the players? Can he relate to an 18-year-old? I would say, well, he probably has a better shot than we think most 72-year-olds do, just because he's dating a 25-year-old. He knows a little bit of the lingo. He knows a little bit.
He's heard it in passing.
Right?
He's heard it.
He's got an idea.
If he had a 72-year-old wife that was the same age as him, based off of what we know about Bill Belichick, he's probably not relating to Ryan Williams or these 17, 18-year-old guys nowadays.
Not a chance.
But he's got a 25-year-old girlfriend.
I like that.
How crazy would it be?
Is that how old she is? Do we know?
How old is she?
I think it's about right.
25?
I mean, I don't know for sure.
Hold on, Google quick. I mean,
she wasn't even alive for the first 3 Super Bowls.
Theoretically,
She don't even know who he is.
Hammy, do you know how old is she? Can you look it up quick? Is she 24 or 25? Theoretically, how crazy would it be if Bill Belichick, coaches at North Carolina,
24,
and let's say they get a 6th year or a 7th year guy because of the COVID year maybe, and an injury thing maybe, and a gray, whatever it's called, gray shirts, red shirts, whatever the case may be.
Uyunglele.
Yeah.
Again.
What happens if one of your players
Mr.
is older
Studio
than your girlfriend?
Oh, it would
Studio Girl.
It'd be insane. Imagine playing on a team where your coach is Bill Belichick and you're older than your head coach's girlfriend. It's wild.
Yeah.
Weird, wild times we're living in, Casey.
What a mess. My only concern with Belichick.
Good for him, you know.
Well, not my only concern, but my main concern, and I don't think you're wrong, Hamby, for most of it. My question would be, I'm under the impression that Bill Belichick coaches a certain type of way.
Sure.
That I would assume most kids these days would not be interested in.
Yeah.
So does it fall?
Be
apart?
a lot of guys that transfer portal.
Does it fall apart super quick? You have to have a certain amount of buy-in, and I agree. If there's kids bought in, I don't think you're anything worse than 8-4 ever.
Do you think it would be like the Tom Coughlin effect was here when you go to the AFC Championship in 2017? So Belichick has success right away, and then all of a sudden maybe you have a little adversity, and all of a sudden football's not so fun anymore. And then you have to transfer out.
I think it's a good comparison.
Because keep in mind, what's one thing in the NFL? We're under contract. College football, it's I'm not. Coach called me a bad name. See ya.
That would be my concern.
Yeah.
See ya.
That would definitely be a concern.
Yeah.
So, be interesting.
So then, NFL, you guys both think?
Yeah.
Or will he coach again? Honestly, do you think an NFL team will be interested in bringing Bill Belichick back?
There's a lot of messy situations.
I know there are, but I'm saying, will they take the risk of an older guy now? A guy who does things in an old school type of way. Will an NFL team give him a shot?
I think so.
Okay.
I think you'll get to the and we'll
this year, by the way, this offseason? Yeah. Okay.
We probably will never know this. I bet he is offered at least a job to coach in the NFL. Whether he takes it or not is the question. But between some of the bad situations, someone's offering Bill Belichick to come right the ship. Get this figured out. You know what I mean?
I don't think it does anything if he goes the college route, but does it do something for his legacy if he takes another NFL gig and doesn't do well? Or is he just...
Yeah.
You think so? But see, to me, it's almost like the Tom Brady effect, where Brady was the GOAT. It didn't matter what he did in Tampa, and he obviously won, so he was still successful. But it didn't really matter because, well, you're still Tom Brady. I think Aaron Rodgers' legacy is a little tarnished in New York of how it's probably going to end because the recency bias. But I almost think that Bill Belichick has so much built up in his resume where it doesn't really matter what happens to him now.
My 2 questions to that would be is, what do you think about when you think of Brett Favre?
Oof. Now?
Well, no. Football Brett Favre, sorry. Do you think about how it ended?
Ready to go on a rant.
Or do you think about bro throwing touchdowns for the Packers?
No, dude, I think about this. It'd be sad to say now in retrospect, but that was my childhood hero, man. Every kid in Wisconsin had a Favre jersey in the backyard.
There you go.
It's not a bad point.
My other one...
Now, what do I think about him now, in case you asked? No, I'm kidding. Okay.
My other one, which is the way that you answer this question is not how everybody else would answer it, but I would say Urban Meyer. Because outside of the people in this city, no one brings up the Jags thing. It's all about the Ohio State stuff and the Florida stuff.
I guess it's true. Yeah, shoot, man.
Well, no, listen.
So I think stuff can easily be forgotten.
It can be. And I think that's a great point that I don't really think about a lot, and I still don't think about it because when you look at how Urban Meyer ended, could it have gone any worse, honestly?
No, he kicked somebody.
Couldn't, supposedly.
Allegedly. Sorry.
Allegedly. It couldn't have gone any worse. Set aside from the bar in the middle of Cincinnati or wherever they were, like, there were so many bad optics here in Jacksonville. Could not have gone worse. What happens to Urban Meyer?
Right back on television.
Fox goes, oh, yeah, bring him over here. Yeah, we'll take him. We'll take him.
He got fired on a Wednesday night. They're like, can you make it to the big noon kickoff on Saturday? Like, stuff's easily forgotten. If Belichick goes to the Giants and they win twice, no one will remember.
It's a good point. Especially for how much he won. Like, Urban won too, but Belichick, in terms of Super Bowl wins, man, you can't deny it. So
same deal with, like, if he went to college and it was a total disaster, like, say he goes, he's not going to. Say he goes to North Carolina, they win one time, everybody transfers, it's the biggest debacle in the history of college football.
Yeah.
No one will remember. He'll be on McAfee on Tuesday.
Not a bad point. Hamby, let's go and go to break. I think we're running a little behind here. We had some bets to make. Do we have our picks, by the way? Or?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we got some picks.
Yeah, I sent out the games. I don't have Brent's picks, though. So
I do.
Ooh.
Nice.
But I have not looked at them. I have them, but
Now, Casey.
Now, Hamby's going to be biased to make his picks.
Are
he
you
can kind of do this against you now?
Well, are you and Nick in the daytime? Do you guys have? Okay, but I mean, do you have his, or do you just kind of call the shots for the whole team?
Well, so here's what happened. I let Nick pick way too much way early.
Okay.
And then I realized he didn't understand what was happening.
Sure.
Because he texted me after LSU won by 2 one time, and we had LSU -7. He's like, hey, win one for the good guys. I was like, Nick, you're done. Nick, you're not making picks anymore. So I had to take over the reins a little bit. But I still let him give his thoughts. But
okay, so it's a conglomerate, but it's more like you're Steve Jobs and he's Mike Wozniak.
It is now. I gave him way too much rope early.
Yeah. All right, Steve Jobs making some picks next year on Brent Austen Show.
Burgers or breakfast, you can get it all at Whataburger. Try something new on the menu or an all-time favorite like the Whataburger Patty Melt. And now you can have breakfast here at Whataburger 12 hours a day, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m. Menu items like the bacon taquito, sausage taquito, honey butter chicken biscuit. Whether you work the late night shift, just want a snack early in the morning to get your day started, or a little pick-me-up late in the morning, 12 hours a day, breakfast served. 11 p.m. until 11 a.m. A dozen locations in Jacksonville. You can order pickup or delivery and download the Whataburger app. New rewards members get free Whataburger items when placing their first online order. Just download the app. And for us coffee drinkers, Whataburger has all new hot coffee and iced coffee too. Satisfy that coffee craving at Whataburger 24/7, and it comes in a variety of flavors. Burgers, breakfast, coffee, and so much more. Whataburger, just like you like it.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Right now, save $1,000 or more when you bundle a Kinetico Premier Softener with a Kinetico K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Kinetico water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Kinetico dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579. Baker Sports is local sports. Uniforms from Pop Warner and Little League to travel ball, high school, and college. They make you look good. They help you play good. Baker Sports has been helping families make memories that will last a lifetime with their Baker's Buckets. We've got a lot of these filled with baseballs and softballs in the garage. I've been throwing batting practice to Ty and Kaylee for years and also sit on the Baker's Bucket, catching Kaylee while she practices her pitching. Baker Sports is homegrown, and a lot of employees that used to play on local ball fields now work for Baker Sports, now helping you look good, play good, and make memories of your own. Visit Bakersport.com to see what Baker Sports can do for you. Custom apparel, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, embroidery, screen printing, and more. Baker Sports is local sports from Jacksonville to anywhere in the Southeast. Bakersport.com. Everyone loves a good game night. Here you don't have to be the host. You don't have to clean up. They bring the food and drinks to you, and you can watch whatever you want on the big screens. It's more than a card room. It's a night full of fun with friends. Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now the newest location here in St. Augustine, right off 95 at exit 311. A brand new clean room, a full bar and menu, my favorite sushi in town. And I love the fries too. You don't have to just play poker at Best Bet. That's why I come over here to the table games and play one card poker. That's a pretty good card and a win. One card poker is like war as a kid, you against the dealer. And this isn't the only fun table game to play. A friendly staff, a lot of fun. It's a good night out at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and the newest location in St. Augustine. You can be a serious player or a novice. It doesn't matter. If winning equals fun, you're a winner every time at Best Bet. I'll save you a seat, and I'll see you down here at Best Bet St. Augustine.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
There you go, Hamby. There you go, Hamby.
Whoops.
Don't act like it's a Friday. Don't act like we have both feet in the parking lot. Let's just roll with this the whole time. Oh, okay, we're back.
How about that?
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show. Brent Martineau, living it up in Nashville, living it up in Broadway. Hot chicken. What else is Nashville known for? Mayo. Mayo.
Mayonnaise. Terrible.
Why are they known for mayonnaise?
Will Levis.
Oh, Hamby.
Oh.
Hamby.
Just because of Levis?
Hamby. No, there's always been like a connotation. That's a big word for me. A connotation between mayonnaise and Nashville and the Titans. I think, didn't someone once say like the Titans fans smell like mayo? I think is what it came. I don't know. But now it's like a thing, Hamby. So you gotta start learning your old school Jaguars fandom, man.
I thought honestly that North Carolina was because of the Mayo Bowls there, or the Duke.
Oh, is that the Duke's Mayo?
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Mayo?
I'm fine with mayo, but getting it poured on you is not.
Oh, yeah, that's gross. That's, I mean, listen.
Questionable.
If it was a national championship, I would still, like, question it.
Like,
let alone a bowl game where you have, like, two, like, teams that are 500 playing in it.
Yeah. Like, I'd rather lose and not be bowl eligible than have the potential to get mayo.
Do you think Wisconsin's like, dodged a bullet, don't have to go to a bowl game?
They would fit right in the mayo bowl.
Thank God.
So.
Wisconsin? Yeah, pretty much. So, but you aren't a mayo guy? Do you enjoy mayo on sandwiches or
Yeah,
not?
I can mess with it.
Okay. Are you more of a Miracle Whip or mayo guy?
Mayo, I think.
Do you know what Miracle Whip is?
I do know what it is.
Okay, a little zestiness.
Yeah.
I used to eat Miracle Whip sandwiches by myself.
That's disgusting. I don't see the.
I grew up on it.
I don't see the Mayo Bowl projection here, Hamby. Do we have that?
Nope, Mayo Bowl is not in this graphic.
That's a bummer.
All right, Hamby, man. Stadium Pulse right before our show. Take us through it. What do you got for us?
Do you want to get right into our picks?
Oh, no, you put the bracket up there. I thought we were getting ready to talk about college football.
Well, I just wanted to show it. I was hoping that you'd probably say that, yep, Hamby's showing the graphic, but I'm not talking about it because
Yeah, because that's how I operate in this show. Dude, if you put up a picture on the screen, doesn't matter what it is, I'm going to talk about it for at least 25 minutes. You should know better by now. Okay, well, disregard the tournament bracket. We'll get back to it in a little bit.
I'll make a couple points on the bracket. Some that we've kind of mentioned before. Ohio State.
Okay, now we're going to talk about it. Okay.
We are going to talk about it.
Thought we're over it. Okay, let's go. What do you got for us,
And
Sammy?
we'll roll right into the conference championships tomorrow.
Okay.
Ohio State, that was the most embarrassing loss of any team in that picture this season.
That was rough, man.
Other than Notre Dame to Northern Illinois.
That was rough.
There was not one. Hey, at least Alabama, when they lost to Vandy, at least they had the gumption to do it on the road. Ohio State, you did it at home.
If you were a Michigan fan at that game, would you have stormed the field?
Yeah, especially when they started fighting.
Oh, yeah, that too.
I wouldn't be involved.
Dude, like, for as big as of an upset, and this was in the rundown, so maybe we can sneak this in as well. That's what we do on this show. Obviously, Michigan didn't storm the field. You're at Ohio State. Hamby is so against storming the courts or fields, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I hate it.
Really?
Yeah, I hate it.
Here's the question, though. I think sometimes it's overkill, but sometimes it's justifiable.
If you're Vandy, no, you go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a 3-score underdog and you've never beaten this team, be my guest.
Weren't they number 1 in the country?
I think
they
so.
had just beat somebody?
They just beat Georgia.
Just beat Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah,
so they were number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, you stormed. You take the goalpost.
Oh, yeah.
You for it. But all this Ole Miss storming when they beat Georgia, that pissed me off so much.
Hamby's, storm it. Storm it.
No. You thought you were a national title contender. You can never storm the field.
Storm it, man.
It is. So obviously they lose out. Bro, they were 2-point underdogs.
Yeah, but it's Georgia. See, this is a pro-Georgia thing. I think you should be.
Yeah.
You should
feel honored.
As like it. Yeah, I mean,
I didn't feel that way. I was pissed. I texted Austin and Brent. It was the game too because we did not play well.
Did not.
But that was the most angry I've been after a football game in years, Jags included.
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
I think you should automatically get to storm if the team you beat has a higher ranking than you.
Regardless,
ridiculous.
Okay, regardless of what.
Let me rephrase. If you're 2, you can't storm if you beat 1.
Okay, so if Georgia beats Texas in the SEC championship tomorrow,
no, neutral site. Can't storm on a neutral site. Okay. Unless it's Super Bowl or, well, you're not. Nobody's storming Super Bowl.
Has anyone ever stormed an NFL game?
No.
Yeah, probably not.
But like.
That'd be cool.
Not neutral
the
site.
Jags might storm Nashville. The 8 fans.
God, we might.
If the Jags win, I'd be on board.
Yeah, let's go, man.
Get nuts.
I'll see you at Tootsie's.
But you can always storm as long as you're beating someone that's better than you.
That's ridiculous.
That's not ridiculous.
Yes, see, I see, Case. I mean, there's a balance. I get the Ole Miss one because history goes into that one, Hamby.
We don't play them every year.
Well, no, I know, but how long? And it's the mighty Georgia versus Ole Miss, who's kind of always on the cusp, but never. They're kind of like the little brother, and little brother won.
Exactly.
I get that, but there has to be some sort of stipulation where if you're at least a 4 or 5 point underdog at home, you can storm then or something like that. There should be a rule and stipulation, to prove it. If it's a pick 'em. If it's Texas at Georgia, Texas blows Georgia out. I'm sorry. If it's Georgia at Texas, and Texas wins, no, come on. What are we doing? Mm-hmm. But if it's a 5 or 6 point thing, which I get Ole Miss wasn't Hamby, so this is more to your point, but storm the field, storm the court.
I think you always can.
Always, no matter what.
I think you could justify it more times than not.
All right.
So dumb. Anyways.
Alabama playing Mercer. Get on the field. Let's go.
Well, Mercer for sure. No, there's no scenario.
No, I'm saying Alabama.
There's no scenario where I would storm the field, by the way, as a fan. None. Not a scenario. It's mostly a fat guy thing, but
I wouldn't. Regardless.
Anyway. Oh, for real?
See, but yours is principle.
Part of history.
You're young and healthy. You could jump the thing easy, and you'd be out there.
Hey, I mean, in the primary, you can go throw some goalposts in a river.
Me, it's just because I'm lazy.
Casey, then get on the goalpost and sit on top, and what will they carry you?
Oh, dude, I'd fall off.
They can hoist you up.
I have terrible balance. Dude, I can't even walk in a straight line. Okay, real quick.
Let's go.
My biggest fear of all time is real.
I can't wait to see where this is going here. All right, what do you got?
All right, let me...
Safe space, by the way, Case. It's safe space.
My biggest fear of all time, besides snakes, is... I get stopped at a DUI checkpoint, completely sober. Because I can't walk in a straight line. I can't do it. Like, I don't know if it's like a inner ear balance. I can't do it. So they'll get me out of the car to walk in a straight line, and I will not be able to do it.
Hey, just going,
sober.
hey,
I could not do it right now.
Just breathalyze me.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Just
you ask
give me
for
the
that?
breathalyzer.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know.
So that's my biggest fear. They don't breathalyze me. They make me walk in a straight line. I can't do it. Next thing you know, I'm doing 10 years. Biggest fear of all time.
That would be insanity.
That and snakes. But anyway.
So Ohio State, nonetheless.
Casey calling from jail. You got to bail me out. Checkpoint. Whoa, no, I just couldn't walk. All right, what do you got, Andy?
Ohio State cost himself a chance to a Big Ten championship. Obviously, they will no longer play Oregon. Penn State will play them instead.
Real quick, guys, is Ryan Day's job on the line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hamby? Yeah, both agree, huh?
Bro's
okay.
mid.
If he gets a first-round exit here.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay.
So we'll start with that one. So we're going to do our six-pack of picks. Mm-hmm. By the way, for a quick update on the standings.
Oh, give us that update, please.
We really have clutched up.
Oh, come on, man.
You guys have had a good couple weeks.
We were 2 weeks ago. Yep. We were in second place.
Oof.
Behind the Norvell Show.
Never heard of him.
Patrick and
Young and Norvell. Just move on. Trust me.
Yep. We were down 1.
I'll speak.
And then we went 5-1 and 4-2.
Good couple weeks.
And they went 2 and 4 both. So we're up 3 games. I believe.
Let's go.
You're only up 2 on us.
You're up 2 and then they've also made a run.
Casey's made a run now, too.
Casey's made a run.
Or so he says. Maybe just kind of fudge
Are you looking
numbers.
at the spreadsheet? I have a spreadsheet with every game that's been picked by everything.
Good for you, man. Casey putting the man hours in.
They accused me of cheating multiple times.
All right. So needless to say, Hamby, yeah, we are in front right now. We're beating Vegas, but hey, no one said this game had to be close, right?
Again, yes.
No one said it had to be close.
Also, I have
Put some
Brent's
distance.
picks.
Okay.
I haven't looked at them.
Okay. Well, here we go. Then if there's a tie between me and you, then we will defer to Brent.
Okay, so we'll start with Oregon.
Yeah.
Oregon, 3.5-point favorites against Penn State. 1 versus 3, technically. Not that rankings, you can pretty much throw them out now.
Doesn't matter.
For these particular games.
Yep.
Oregon, very consistent, you could say, over this last, especially 2 months after some early struggles, and they've obviously still undefeated, right? Dan Lanning kind of riding that wave. It just seems like their time is Penn State.
The Lion Tamers.
Right? Kind of has been sometimes insanely aggressive, sometimes kind of passive. James Franklin, not really sure, can't win the big one. Lanning doesn't have a great record either, but he's much younger. He doesn't have as much of a track record.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and start this one and say I believe fully in Lanning. I fully believe in Dylan Gabriel. You know exactly what you're going to get. They play defense. I don't believe in Penn State's offense other than their tight end, who's unbelievable. So I'm taking Oregon by the 3.5-point favorite, so I'm sticking with Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we always want to talk about Oregon's offense and Dylan Gabriel, but I thought their defense had a coming out party against Washington last weekend. 10 sacks is ridiculous. I think Lanning gets them ready to play, the Lion Tamers, if you will. And plus, if I don't take Oregon, my son's going to disown me, and I have to see him this weekend. So let's go ahead and take Oregon as well. Brent Martineau not needed, but who did Brent take?
Let's see.
I bet he probably took Oregon, too.
He took Penn State.
Get him out of here.
He was right.
Get him out of here. He was right. Casey, you taking Penn State?
I don't know who I'm picking. You'll have to watch our show tomorrow. But
okay.
I mean, guys got some idea there. I mean, Penn State plays close games. Oregon, a lot of travel. Never been in this position. We picked Oregon.
Oregon by 10.
we picked Oregon.
Next one, Clemson, SMU. Right, Clemson. It's weird. Some believe that they have to win this game. SMU, a lot believe that they would still be in even with the loss. They have been playing there. I believe, I said on Stadium Post this morning, them and South Carolina are the 2 hottest teams in college football right now. They're playing incredibly well over this last, especially month. They're kicking everybody's butt.
Yep.
Obviously, South Carolina, closer games, but they played great opponents. Both those teams, nobody really wants to see them. SMU was not. If you don't know much about SMU,
hey, nobody does. But go ahead and tell us, Hamby.
So they weren't great at the beginning of the year because they were playing the one quarterback.
Okay,
they switched up, and ever since then they're one of the best offenses in the country. Rhett Lashley, everybody likes him, their head coach, and so a lot more people know about Clemson. So does Clemson have the firepower on offense? Do you trust Dabo Swinney in this big game? SMU has never been in a game like this. Clemson has.
True.
How much does that weigh in? I'll toss it to you.
So, man. All right.
Sorry. Clemson is 2.5 point underdogs. SMU is the favorite.
2.5 point. Where are they playing it again?
Charlotte.
Yeah, it's neutral.
It's neutral.
I mean, is it really neutral?
Well, actually, no, it's
How
not.
many fans does SMU have?
Yeah.
No, in Charlotte, it'll be a Clemson crowd.
Southern Methodist is Texas?
Yeah.
Yes. It'll be a
Dallas?
Clemson crowd. Not a clue.
Okay, yeah.
Never seen it.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I'm a professional, but I haven't watched a second of SMU football this year.
Not one snap.
I mean, I may have, in passing,
Not me.
I saw a highlight.
Not me at all.
But that's about it. I do know Clemson. I do know the awkward dancing of Dabo Swinney. I do know that they have experience in big-time games, and I do know that they're playing a pretty good brand of football. So with all that being said, and which you would think is going to be a little more of a home field advantage, I think. I'm not sure how SMU travels. I don't know if even SMU fans even know watching SMU games. I don't know.
This is all new for them as
A
well.
lot of things. Hey, I mean, especially with the Hook'em Horns. You think SMU fans are checking out SMU football? They're watching the Hook'em Horns do their thing.
True.
Give me Clemson with the points. With 2.5 points?
Clemson, who played an embarrassing game of football last week at home, truly just a debacle.
That's a good point.
Hamby.
They played. They had South Carolina on the ropes. It was right there at the end.
Ooh,
But South Carolina's not that good.
I see. That's where I'm just going to disagree with you.
It's the SEC, Casey. It means more.
Not because they're SEC. I think South Carolina. Nobody in the whole playoff would want to see them right now. That's my personal opinion.
You might be right about that.
And their only game that they lost. Well, the game that's kept them out of the playoff is LSU. They didn't. Lenore Styles didn't play, and if you ask the average fan, that was the most rigged game of college football season. Not even a South Carolina fan. There was just so many different calls. That's kind of unavoidable.
I'm trying to think if I bet on that or not.
Lenore's didn't play in the second half. I think Clemson's I was high on Clemson all year, even after the Georgia game, obviously 31-3 in the opener, and the way they responded and the way they've played. I picked them to win the ACC 2 weeks ago. I thought they wouldn't drop that last game, and they beat Miami. I didn't think Miami would drop a second. I just like Clemson. I think Nate Klubnik's good enough. They actually do put up points, other than 14 against South Carolina, who I think South Carolina is a top 5 defense. So I'm also taking Clemson. Big game matters. I'm taking Dabo as well. But I would not be surprised if SMU wins this one. I know that we don't know much about them.
Not a clue. Not a snap.
Not one thing.
I'm taking Clemson, and Brent tipped Clemson, so it wouldn't matter anyway.
Hey, if you guys check that spreadsheet from last week, all of y'all picked Clemson. Not this guy.
Nope.
Not this guy. Guess who got that pick right?
Against the
this
grain.
guy.
Here comes Casey.
This guy. Didn't
taking
watch
SMU?
a snap.
Taking
Haven't
SMU?
seen a play.
Can't even name their mascot.
Not a clue. We picked
Mustangs.
SMU.
SMU. Okay.
Yeah. So game picker upper for us when you guys blow this on Clemson. Fun fact about Cade Klubnik real quick. This is very odd. When Bro signs autographs,
Yeah. I love it.
he, at least for non-fans, which I'll consider myself,
You are wearing the
he
T-shirt or
won't
anything?
sign stuff that unless somebody else has signed it. So when they were here for the Gator Bowl, or personalized it or something,
Yeah.
I just kind of scribbled on 6 different helmets, and then he saw it and was like, cool, and then signed them.
How did you know that?
Because I do this.
This is his job. Hamby.
We found out the year before at the Orange Bowl when nobody could get him because we were like, what's happening?
But wait. So when you say you scribbled with erase marker?
No, Sharpie.
But what'd you scribble? So didn't that ruin the whole helmet?
No, you just take it off.
Oh, really?
This is a fun fact for you as somebody who signs autographs.
I had no idea.
You can always take the personalization off.
Really?
Always.
I didn't know. So then to make it feel more personal, obviously you could go, hey, can you make it to Casey?
Bingo.
They say to Casey, and then you can delete the Casey part.
Goodbye. Did it the other night, actually. Did it yesterday. Anyway, fun fact about
be sure to listen to the Casey Kurtz Autograph Hour coming soon to that's crazy. I had no idea.
Comes right off.
Makes sense though. Okay.
That's cool. All right, we got to do a little faster here. So Georgia, Texas, obviously SEC championship. This says Texas 2.5 point favorites. Is that right?
It was on Wednesday.
Yeah, they're a good team.
Okay. Nothing against them.
No, they're a good team.
They haven't beat a top 20 ranked team all year.
They're about to.
We already did it to them. We'll do it again.
Will you now?
Look, I do believe this will be a closer game. I think if Texas is smart, they play Arch Manning half of the time. If you look at Georgia and who they struggle against, they struggle against Bama because Jalen Miller can run. They've struggled in the past.
It's still 2.5, by the way.
They struggled against, obviously, Ole Miss because Jackson Dart can run, and they struggled against Georgia Tech because Haynes King ran it all over them. If I'm Sark, I'm putting Arch Manning in for at least half of the snaps and telling him to run the football, tuck it and run, put the ball in the belly of the back, pull it out, RPOs, all that stuff. So I think it'll be a closer game because I think probably Sark will do that. I think he's one of the best offensive minds in college football, if not the best. But I'm still going to roll with the Dogs in this one. I'll take them by 1 touchdown. So they're 2.5, but I'll take them by 10.
In the championship game, give me the better quarterback. Hook 'em. That's all I got to say about it.
Spicy.
What does Brent got? Brent is definitely taking Texas.
Hamby's going to be mad.
For as much as he hates the SEC. He's taking Texas. Are you surprised?
Come on.
Are you surprised by this?
We sit up here and we take the Jags week in and week out.
He has a point here.
Who took the Jags?
We take the Jags
Who
week
did?
in and week
out. Not this guy. Hamby.
That is
a show.
Not this guy.
As a show.
Not this guy.
I do.
He's got a point.
And I'm kicking and screaming saying, don't do it. What have they shown us? So don't bring me into that point.
Dang it, Brent. Why? We just beat them on the road by 2 tuds and dominated the game.
Hard to beat a team twice, Casey.
Better quarterback.
Hard to beat a team twice, so ain't it?
Still, I would argue that we have the better quarterback.
Little biased.
What's Quinn Ewers? I mean,
I would take both Texas quarterbacks over Carson Beck.
Oh!
Sorry, Carson. Love you.
I know, but he's a Jacksonville guy. I know. Yeah. Hamby, okay?
No. You better believe. Listen to me.
Hamby's going to start making his own picks now.
That
on his own.
chat.
Get it on the spreadsheet. Get another group for just Hamby. Yeah, what do you got?
Chat,
what do you got?
When we win by 10 points.
I can't wait.
There's going to be an absurd amount of exclamation marks.
So here's what's going to happen.
There might even be an expletive.
When Texas wins, Casey, I want you to,
many of those,
Casey, I want you to instead of making an Instagram video or like a reel, just go back to my face right here and make a GIF. Just be like, kind of told you. Hey,
you're not allowed to do the Michael Jordan security guard meme on me right now.
No, it ain't. It's just like, hey, Hamby, you remember this is this obviously on a Friday. I kind of told you on Friday what was going to happen. GIF it, okay?
We
Make
picked
it out and GIF
Texas
it
as well, by the way.
There you go.
Texas.
Sorry, Hamby.
Whatever. Anyways.
What happens if they get beat by like 20? Georgia does. I can't wait.
I don't have to come in here and deal with Hamby, so I'll be fine.
Oh, man.
I'll be at home chilling, taking a nap or something.
Man. Hamby, you better pray that Georgia keeps it close, but number 2, they win the game, because if they don't, hell is a coming for you. Okay, we got to get going, though.
We got to get to our NFL picks.
Let's go. What do you got?
Chargers at Chiefs. Chiefs -4. Don't bet against the guy. Chiefs.
I'm with you, especially because Dobbins is out now. I don't trust the Gus bus.
Come on. Gus bus.
It's the Chiefs. I'm sure it's around the holidays, so Taylor Swift will be in attendance. Get a T Swift bump.
Close game after close game. They keep playing. 4 points is a lot.
Give me the Chiefs.
Love it. We took the Chargers.
So did Brent.
Brent took the Chargers too.
+4. The Chiefs aren't beating people down like they have been.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it. You got to get a picker up for me.
They'll figure it out.
Yep. Dolphins are -6 against the Jets at home.
Okay.
The Dolphins are at home. They're 6-point favorites.
I'll take this one first.
Go ahead.
Listen, my brain is okay. I'm sorry. My heart is telling me take the Jets here because, it's bad, but eventually they're too talented to be this bad. But at the same time, Dolphins at home, Tua is playing at a very high level right now. Mike McDaniel, they're still trying to fight for the playoffs. So I got to take the Dolphins here, but I don't feel good about this one.
Hamby?
6 is a lot of points.
It is a lot of points. It's a lot of points.
Aaron Rodgers and the boys.
Plus, Brent took the Jets.
Cheyenne Woodley's coming out saying Aaron Rodgers put her through a bunch of stuff. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, bro's getting a documentary.
Did you see the previews for it?
Yeah.
He's doing the ayahuasca stuff? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm interested in that.
I don't want to make this pick.
Hamby, you got it. I will be honest. This to me is probably the hardest pick, I think.
Jets.
6 is a lot of points.
Lot of points,
Hamby. A lot of points.
I don't remember who we took, so I don't.
You probably took the Dolphins.
No, I think we took the Jets. I think I did this similar thing, but I might have picked the Dolphins. I'll have to go back.
The Jets are in shambles, though.
Jets.
Gosh, I don't know where to go.
Miami.
Jets.
If it was 4, it would be easy.
But it's 6.
Maybe Pitbull's going to be there too. We don't know.
You really think Aaron Rodgers is going to lose by a touchdown to the Dolphins?
Bump?
The Dolphins are just okay.
With a Pitbull bump?
They're not playing in the FIU Pitbull.
Yeah, Pitbull might be there, though. You don't know. It could be a big game.
People could be there. Give me a break.
I'm taking the Dolphins.
I don't like me and Hammy being on the same page pretty much on every pick.
I think we took the Jets.
Okay. All right, final game. Obviously, Jaguars at Titans. Titans are 3.5-point favorites.
Which is a wild world to live in, by the way. I know the Jags are terrible, but the fact that the
it's a pick 'em essentially. Right?
I mean, holy cow.
Because you get 3 for being the home team.
I'll start.
But they're on the other side of the field goal, though.
I know.
That's crazy.
Let's hear it, Hamby.
Exclude the Lions game, and we've played every game incredibly tight. We lose every time.
Spoken like a true Brent Martineau stand. Okay.
Didn't you just yell about picking the Jags?
That's what I thought.
Dude, we have done well with picking the Jags against their spread this year.
I will give you guys credit for that.
We have.
I always pick the other team.
Yeah.
And Austin normally always picks the other team.
Correct.
So it comes down to
Austin's got a good idea.
Brent. Look, we took him +5 last week. It hit. Plus 3.5.
Because of garbage time.
Garbage time? Yeah.
Garbage time is garbage time.
I'll give you that. I'm not arguing. I won some bets because of garbage time. I'm right there with you.
This is the first time the Jags will be playing the Titans without Derrick Henry, which is an underlying story that I guess we haven't really talked about much. It's going to just be weird to see us play them, and 22's not out there running for 150.
Tony Pollard throw stiff arms from hell. Yeah, it's going to be really different.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that, actually.
I'm taking the Jags.
You just got mad. Okay, Austin.
Yeah, because if we're going to take our teams, we're going to take our
teams.
You
know what happens. It doesn't matter what you do. Yeah. I guarantee you Brent has taken the Jags.
Yeah, I know. Brent took the Jags, but let me just say my piece then, even though it doesn't really matter.
We picked the Titans, by the way.
Okay, I picked the Titans as well. I think Will Levis is playing better, which is a little crazy. Mac Jones he's shown me enough that's not garbage time.
The Titans play defense, too.
And the Titans play defense. The Titans can stop the run. It can make the Jaguars one-dimensional, and do you trust Mac Jones? I trust the big brother that gets it done at home, I feel like sometimes. So I'm taking the Titans, but I know Mr. Sunshine and Rainbows took the Jaguars.
Yes, he did.
Of course he did. But yeah, hey, to be fair, you guys have been right a lot when it comes to the spread. So I'll let you guys have that one.
We'll take a break.
All right. Let's take a break.
Pizza!
Going on right now at Donato's. Something for the weekend. Get out of the kitchen a little bit, called Donato's. Location at Jack's Beach, 1500 Beach Boulevard and Mandarin, 9735 Old St. Augustine Road. I'm not going to lie. This is Brent's thing, but just go and let me tell you, the spicy pepperoni with the hot honey. Say no more, Casey. I didn't think honey and sweetness belonged on a pizza, but when you couple it with the saltiness and tanginess of pepperoni, it just makes sense, and Donato's has that in bulk, so check that out.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway, or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness. And most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC, we are professional grade.
It's all about basketball on the campus of the University of North Florida as the calendar turns to December. The women's basketball team picked up their second win of the season this past Saturday, 79-71 over Samford. The UNF women will now start a road trip with stops in both Minnesota to take on the Golden Gophers and Tallahassee to take on Florida A&M. As for the men, they picked up win number 5 this past Friday, 78-73 over SIU Edwardsville in Illinois. The men will return to UNF Arena this Thursday as they are set to take on Warner at 7 p.m. And the UNF men's tennis team is set for action this weekend for the first time since November as they will welcome Troy to the UNF Tennis Complex. And remember, you can find schedules, tickets, results, and more at unfospreys.com.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Right now, save $1,000 or more when you bundle a Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
When it comes to trucks, I know exactly what I want. And at Bozard Ford, they make it easy to get exactly that. Let's go make this truck a little more my style. With Bozard Built, I can create my perfect truck right here. Lift kit? Check. Premium wheels? You bet. Advanced lighting package? Oh yeah. The Bozard team works their magic. From bumper to tailgate, I'm making this truck mine. It's everything that I wanted and more. From the field to the gym to weekend adventures. This truck's built for my journey. Bozard Built. Customized for your lifestyle, built to exceed your expectations. Check out the inventory and available options at bozardbuilt.com. Unleash your dream ride. Customized, covered, and Bozard approved.
New to town or always been in town? Everyone is always looking for a good pizza place. Our place is Donato's Pizza. We love it and still do love it. When I tell my family I'm coming to Donato's, they say, wait a minute, you got to order some for us. So this is not all for me. Let me tell you what the Martinos get when we put an order in. Well, pepperoni pizza, we usually get more than one of these. And then there's the works, a little bit of everything. And then this is the pizza that can be polarizing for some out there. I don't know why. Hawaiian pizza. Some love it, some don't. At Donato's, you're going to love it, especially with that cinnamon sprinkled on top. Try the pizza my family likes or try your favorite. Right now, you can use the code BRENT20 and get 20% off your order. Every viewer and listener is important to us. And at Donato's Pizza, every piece is important. From fresh ingredients to the dedicated team members and you, the valued customer. Donato's Pizza, where every piece comes together for a winning combination. Jack's Beach and Mandarin locations. Donato's Pizza, every piece is important.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Casey, we need your football prowess and your expertise because it is time for the Everbank game plan. Usually Brent does these things and they fall on deaf ears because I don't think the Jaguars have listened one time to him and following the game plan. So let's go ahead and let the kids try to will us to a victory here with some of the game plan of what they have to do. I think it's pretty simple. This is a team that has kind of had your number. They bounced you out of the playoffs. I think you need to establish the run, which won't be easy against a pretty good Titans defense, but you got to establish the run. We saw that a little bit after Trevor Lawrence got hurt, right? And that's what kept them in the ball game last weekend. So whether it's with Tank Bigsby, whether it's with Travis Etienne, establish the run. We don't need to get in a track meet here. I get we want to showcase Brian Thomas Jr. and everything, but we got to establish the run. And then obviously on the other side of the ball, and Hamby kind of mentioned this during the break, it's the first time we don't have to worry about Derrick Henry. It's the first time we don't have to worry about, there's the highlight that's going to put him on the NFL 100 again where, he's stiff-arming guys and a 99-yard touchdown. Now, let's not let Tony Pollard get going because Tony Pollard's been kind of whatever all year. Let's not give the Tony Pollard breakout game. And for the love of God, please don't give us the Will Levis breakout game. So I think it comes down to obviously being able to stop the run and being physical up front, winning in the trenches, stopping Tony Pollard and company, and minding your P's and Q's when the pass goes down. Casey, what do you got?
It's interesting. I don't believe they're capable of establishing the run in a way that's going to make you win a football game against the Titans front. I just don't believe that that's what's going to happen. I'm in favor. That's like kind of what you have to do. But I go back to what you've said a lot. Their offense does not dictate play. Their offense has not been as good as it was supposed to be. And now you don't have Trevor Lawrence, you have Mac Jones. So to me, the way that you win, and this is going to sound odd, the way that you win this football game is you take every chance imaginable on defense. Because the one thing that you know for sure when you show up to the stadium, you don't know anything about your offense for sure. You might run the ball one day, you might not. You might be able to get it to Brian Thomas Jr., you may not. The one thing you know when you show up is Will Levis is going to turn it over. So make him turn it over. Blitz. Try to jump routes. Like, take chances on defense. Because the reality of the situation is you suck, and you're probably going to lose. So try to make something happen on defense. That would be my game plan for Ryan Nielsen, because you know Levis will make the mistake.
Yeah.
You just got to force him into it.
Sure, that's not a bad call, right? Because it's almost like, listen, this is a fight, right? And you don't want to be calculated. I think you want to more come out swinging.
Yeah.
Right? So blitz,
and you
do
will
what you
leave
have to do.
yourself open probably at times.
But you also leave yourself open if you're just playing base defense.
Right.
So might as well risk it for the biscuit and try to make a play here. No, I understand it. From a fantasy perspective, is this a Calvin Ridley game? Probably Tyson Campbell will be on him a lot, you'd think.
No. This is one of those scenarios where if you have anybody on your fantasy team that is in this game, you take them out. In my opinion.
Well, Brian Thomas Jr. staying in for me, unfortunately.
I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. Like, this is a debacle of a week in fantasy, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm struggling, man.
This is second round of the playoffs for me. I need to win. Terry McLaurin's like, I'm out. I'm not playing this week. And somebody else that I have like 3 dudes has a major bye this week. Like, it's a mess. So you do get stuck with receivers probably, but I just have a hard time believing that Calvin Ridley beats you. That being said, I bet he gets 10 targets, 12 targets.
Well, and then
because they got nothing else going for him either.
Well, they have Nick Westbrook-Akine, who
bro will not stop scoring.
The guy will not stop scoring. Like,
unbelievable.
You almost got to take that into account too now, right? I mean, I don't know like what the metrics say. I think he's had 4 straight weeks with touchdowns.
He keeps scoring. It's crazy.
And we're talking like the average stat line is going to be 2 receptions, 15 yards, touchdown.
Yep.
3 receptions, 22 yards, touchdown.
That's him.
All this dude does is score. Like, do you?
I mean,
Casey, here's the thing for the props out there. I think he's the 3rd favorite right now on sports books to score a touchdown. The 3rd favorite
in all of the league.
No, I'm saying
in the Jags game.
And then the Jags game.
That makes sense.
Does it though? I guess, but
I mean, last week he was like 6th. I bet on him last week. I know I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's something to look at. Like, one thing, again, with Levis, it's true. I think he's going to turn it over maybe multiple times. They're probably going to hit like a 60-yard touchdown. They do that. They did it last week with their tight end.
Yeah.
So if it's not Westbrook-Akine, it might be Ridley. It could be the tight end again. Something to Paul. Like, they're going to chuck it.
Which defense shows up? Because, yes, you got beat by the Texans, but I'm not going to lie, I thought it was going to be a lot worse, especially when your starting quarterback goes down. And I thought overall they did a good job of, Nico still had his day. Nico's Nico. But overall, I thought Stroud looked very uncomfortable in that pocket, and I thought they did a decent job of making him feel uncomfortable. Can we see the same now with Will Levis? Or, like I said, Casey, like, this team has had a habit of letting quarterbacks have signature games against them. What has Caleb Williams done since the Jaguars game?
I don't think they've won. Or maybe they've won once.
Stat-wise, though. He has his coming out party, and all of a sudden, what has Deshaun Watson done since the Jaguars game? Yeah. Imagine if Jameis played that game. Whew.
Jameis.
Whew. So, do you think is this going to be the Will Levis breakout game?
Probably.
You think so?
I got no faith. I got no faith in their defense.
But see, neither did I. But look at what they did against Houston.
Yeah, but again, I think we said this earlier. Like,
Houston was playing.
Stroud is 2 throws away from 14 more points.
Sure.
So, like, I think more of what happened in the Houston game was on the quarterback play. And listen, Will Levis is not the greatest player to ever play the sport. All right. And I know a lot of people are down on him. I still think he's decent. I think he's talented. So, from what you've seen from this Jags defense, like, I think more times than not, the bad one shows up. And I do think they can hit big plays on you. Like, it would not shock me on the first drive of the game if they hit a 50-something yard touchdown. So that's a huge concern when the Jags offense, more times than not, can't, I'm not even going to say can't score, can't function.
Yeah.
Can't put 3 respectable downs together.
Hamby,
I just don't like it.
Will Levis breakout game or not?
No, it better not be. He's due for another highlight, low light reel.
He's due for both, yeah.
Yeah.
He'll throw a 60-yard tud, but if we can get 2 picks, maybe a pick 6, he's due to throw the ball with his left hand or shovel it or underhanded or try to make up for a pick sprinting with his face down. One of the 4.
Legend.
I think we're all in agreement here, guys, but maybe not. I assume that the Jaguars aren't going to end with 2 wins on the season. Like, there's wins someplace. Now, I know,
You
like...
keep saying it.
I don't think they win again.
We can't... Well, really?
Casey, we don't win another game?
No.
Well, what I was going to ask, and Casey obviously is going to sit this one out, then I guess.
Sorry.
But no, you're good, man. Between the Titans, the Jets, the Raiders, the Titans again, and the Colts, like, which game do you think... Keep in mind, the Colts game will be in Indy. Which game do you think they can, like... If you put all your money down on one game where the Jaguars can win, is this the one?
Who do we play next week?
So you have the Titans, then you have the Jets at home.
I'll take that one.
Then the Raiders in Las Vegas. You think the Jets at home, Hamby?
No shot.
Of all of them, look, because if I'm going to...
Hamby, I mean...
Listen, this is why. If I got to pick one, then I'm going to pick a game at home.
Okay, so then pick the Titans game at home.
That would be the game I would pick.
But it's the last game of the season.
No, that's the Colts, Jaguars.
Yeah, the Titans is the second to last.
Second to last game.
Second to last?
But,
Okay,
but to be fair, the Jaguars Titans is the last game at home.
No, I thought it was the last. I thought it was the last game, which I was like, look, if we're 3-13,
Travis Hunter.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I think
since
Jets
it's
are
the
a bad
second-
matchup for the Jags.
Yeah, it's
Even
fine.
as they're bad, they're not good at football, but I think they're a bad matchup for the Jags.
I think they're a bad matchup. I think, the Raiders don't look good at all, but I don't know.
They ain't beating the Raiders. They're not
Going to
beating the
Las Vegas, I feel like Antonio Pierce is going to find a way to
Yes.
try to get it done.
I agree.
Yeah, if I'm putting my money down on one game, because who knows if the Colts are still going to be competing for a playoff spot, too, by the time we get to Week 18.
I think there's a possibility of that.
Yeah, so
And the Colts fight.
I'm probably looking at Week 17 Jaguars at home against the Titans.
That's the one I would pick if I had to pick one. I just don't think they're winning again.
That would be... Okay, so the Casey, I mean...
The only shot is the Titans, in my opinion.
Well, okay, here's the thing. It's wild because if you would have said that 4 weeks ago, I'd have been like, you're high. But now I'm like, well, I mean, maybe. Like, I've heard crazier things. So if that's the case then, Titans, Jets, Raiders, Titans, Colts. Not necessarily a murderer's row, but if you drop all those games, and I assume if you drop all those games, it won't be in great fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Anything changes? Any changes get made? Anybody gets let go? Anybody gets elevated? Nothing?
No, I think if that does happen, then it's...
Well, no, and I'm saying at the end of the season, but I'm saying at any time before the end of the season. Like, if you lose to the Jets, if you lose to the Raiders, like, do you finally say enough's enough? Or is it just like, yeah, Travis Hunter?
I think Raiders probably is the one. Because
Raiders
the
is the
Raiders
one.
also stink. But I don't think there's a chance in the world that the Jags beat the Raiders. Like, the Raiders fight. The Raiders coach is, like, they're clearly in on the coach.
Yeah.
They're not that talented.
O'Connell seems to be decent now. Like, he's okay.
But
the
again,
quarterback.
like, I still don't think it's a great matchup because their best receivers in the slot.
Mhm.
The Jags are questionable in the secondary. Just put it there. And then Bowers, like,
It's a beast.
I don't think that's a great matchup.
Yeah.
So I think that's the game, in my opinion, that something could happen after it because then you've only got 2 more.
Yeah.
You can maybe sell some tickets for the Titans game if you do it there.
One last question, guys, and let's go to break. I love Brian Thomas Jr. here. I think we all do. This is the best pick of the draft, but I mean for the Jaguars. Me and Brent talked about Bowers coming here and having a 2 tight end set. Do you think Bowers would have given you anything different in terms of wins, in terms of intrigue, in terms of excitement, or did Brian Thomas Jr. kind of max out those attributes with
No, he did.
this play? He did.
I think Brock Bowers would have 12 catches if he was on the Jags. What evidence do you have to say they could run with 2 tight ends, let alone 1?
I mean,
As high as they say that they are on Strange, and as little production as he gets.
There you go.
It's a good point. All right.
I truly think Bowers is like 24 catches for 206 yards and a touchdown.
Blocking.
Right.
Like, what buys in that you say that could not be the case? Because if Brian Thomas Jr. wasn't out there, think about how the defense plays differently. You know that. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
I just think Bowers is a non-factor just because their offense, again, they very rarely put 3 respectable downs together in a row. How are they going to get 2 tight ends the ball?
All right, well.
They can barely hand it off.
That was the game plan, brought to you by Everbank.
Shout out Everbank.
Shout out to Everbank. Hopefully, hey, maybe you can come back with a dub, and maybe they listen, Casey. Wouldn't bank on it, though.
I would not bank.
All right, man. Well, we got one more, I think, segment coming up before we go our separate ways into the cold of Jacksonville, Florida. But we got plenty to talk about, more sports to talk about next here on the Brent
And paint
Show.
the play.
Oh, we got to paint the play? Are we painting it?
Next break.
All right, baby. Call me Bob Ross then. We're going to paint some plays coming up next year on the Brent Austen Show.
It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access. Welcome to String Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence. You can bring your party or event to String Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need String Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports. Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield.
Building off a summer of terrific action at Southern Oaks Stadium, the Jacksonville Armada are looking forward to the future and the return of pro soccer in Northeast Florida. Season ticket reservations for MLS Next Pro are underway, and for just $100, you can lock in some great benefits when it comes to supporting the boys in blue. Those who make a reservation will have first selection options in the new Armada Stadium out east, near Jacksonville's downtown sporting complex, as well as access to supporter VIP events like stadium tours, open training sessions, and future meet and greets with players and coaches. You can make your season ticket reservations at jacksonvillearmada.com/ticket, and while you're there, read the very latest on the Armada men's and women's teams in action this summer. Show your commitment to the fleet with an MLS Next Pro season ticket reservation at jacksonvillearmada.com/ticket.
Welcome to Everbank Stadium. We call the stadium the bank. Here inside the Jaguars locker room, this is called the Vault. The Vault is a special place on game days. You can feel the energy and excitement as the Jaguars get ready to take the field. And Everbank has made a way for Jaguars fans to be a part of the action. Each home game, Everbank will select a winner and a guest to be a part of the Shadows. Be there up close and personal when the Jaguars leave the Vault to take the field. Not only that, the Vault Lounge provides a VIP pregame tailgate experience. High-end food, beverages, music, and more. Want a chance to be part of a VIP experience at a Jaguars game? Enter today at everbank.com/shadows, and you could find yourself in the shadows with the Jaguars. You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242. You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing. Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Right now, save 10% off a new Rinnai tankless water heater. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579. Baker Sports is local sports. Uniforms from Pop Warner and Little League to travel ball, high school, and college. They make you look good. They help you play good. Baker Sports has been helping families make memories that will last a lifetime with their Baker's Buckets. We've got a lot of these filled with baseballs and softballs in the garage. I've been throwing batting practice to Ty and Kaylee for years, and also sit on the Baker's Bucket, catching Kaylee while she practices her pitching. Yeah! Baker Sports is homegrown, and a lot of employees that used to play on local ball fields now work for Baker Sports, now helping you look good, play good, and make memories of your own. Visit Bakersport.com to see what Baker Sports can do for you. Custom apparel, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, embroidery, screen printing, and more. Baker Sports is local sports from Jacksonville to anywhere in the Southeast. Bakersport.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
All right, time for Paint the Play. That one, Painter First Coast. Brought to you by, I just said that completely backwards, but it is what it is. You get the point. And this is going to be all a focus on, well, I get it. There hasn't been a lot to be excited about this year. There hasn't been a lot to go, hey, give me some more of that, if you will, please. But this has been the one bright spot. I mean, unequivocally the best bright spot of the season, Casey, Brian Thomas Jr., just in general. Just as a person, as a player.
Bro's great.
Yeah, bro's great. And this play right here I want to highlight just because we need to see more of this going forward. Okay, so for instance, if you watched the game last night, Amon-Ra St. Brown, I feel like is one of the best route runners in the NFL.
Agreed.
Cooper Kupp, one of the best route runners in the NFL. Now, are these guys going to take the top off? Are these guys going to give you those 70 to 80-yard touchdowns? Probably not. That's not their gig. Now they got Jameson Williams, who can do that in Detroit.
Puka,
I mean, he'll do it a little more slow, but he'll lower his shoulder and not get tackled through like 10 guys and do it himself. Yes, That is correct, Casey. So every wide receiver is kind of built differently. This play right here, are we going back to it, Hamby? We got the slides? Or just, yep. So this play right here, is this the only slide that we have?
No, we got 4.
Okay, thank God. Because if I had to just work with this one slide right here, I mean, what are we doing? Like, okay.
No, Marcel clutches.
I know Marcel clutches for sure. I just didn't know if there was like some kind of like transfer problem between the emails.
Bottom left, which offensive lineman is that? Bro is manhandling guy.
On ice skates, really.
I mean, whoever that is, this guy's...
Probably Sheriff. You think it's Sheriff?
This guy's 6 yards back already.
You think Sheriff? Yeah, I mean, hey... yeah, that's a great point. I didn't even say that,
that's all I'm saying. That's just a heck of a block.
No, it's a great point. So this play right here, let's go to the next slide. So obviously we got Brian Thomas Jr. going to run a little bit of a shallow cross here. We can call it a shallow in, whatever you're feeling. Look at.
Wow.
Dude catches, and when I say shallow, I'm like, hey, don't dive in the pool because you're going to break your neck. It's that shallow. Okay?
1 yard.
This was 1 yard.
Barely.
1 yard. Now, it's 1 yard.
It's a 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10, 1 yard. Now, if you show me this slide right here and that's it, I'm going to be like, oh, vintage Press Taylor, vintage Doug Peterson. Let's throw a 1 yard shallow cross and, get tackled for 3 or 4 yards. Can't wait to see how this ends. Well, we got Brian Thomas Jr., ladies and gentlemen, and it ends a little differently. He has some space to work with here. But keep in mind where he caught this ball. 1 yard past the line of scrimmage. And what does he turn it into? Well, we see some space here, Brian. We see some daylight. What can you deal with it? What can you do with it here? 56 yards is the answer to that question. Now, once again, he can't do it by himself. Is this Ingram right here?
I think it's Ingram, yeah.
Evan Ingram making a primetime block, what you need. And this is another thing, too. Like, I get right now we're kind of on the Detroit bandwagon. We're on the Dan Campbell bandwagon. We can't state it enough because I'm sick and tired of talking about the Kansas City Chiefs all the time and squeaking by with wins. if you ever watch how Detroit wide receivers block on the run plays, it's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of brilliance. You essentially have like 3 Brandon Sheriffs out there that weigh a little less, but have the same kind of intensity of pushing their cornerback back or their safety, whoever's covering them back. Like, there has to be pride in blocking if you're a wide receiver or if you're Evan Ingram here and you're a tight end. And this just kind of goes to the point where you're in Tennessee. Maybe the run game's not working so well. Just find these shallow crosses. Find a way to give Brian Thomas Jr. the ball in space and watch him do his thing. Right? Because, yeah, we've seen some good of Mac Jones in garbage time, but we've also seen some pretty bad of Mac Jones, right? So, no, I'm not going to trust him to throw these 60-yard go routes and put it right on the money and hit Brian Thomas Jr. right in the hands. But what Mac Jones can do is on these shallow crossing routes, get the ball in space to your go-to guy in Brian Thomas Jr. and let him work and let him feast.
Yeah, that's what they got to do. I mean, that's where we are. If you can get the ball 1 yard over the line of scrimmage, you got a shot. If you can get it to Brian Thomas Jr. at least. So
yeah, you got a shot.
It's what they're going to have to do. And just going back to the Tennessee and this whole thing, thank goodness Calvin Ridley did not resign.
That's fair.
I mean, he got the bag, so cool for him. But, like, I was thinking about this the other night. Like, what did we would have never known the Brian Thomas Jr. Well, we would have. We would have seen him on another team.
We would have saw him on another team probably even have more yards, more receptions.
We screwed up.
Could have been us.
But I out of all the things that have gone wrong this year from the offseason till now, that one went right. I'm not giving him credit for that. But I'm just saying, out of all the crap that went wrong, it's nice to kind of win one for the future.
No, that's, Casey, that's what we call hope. And granted, there hasn't been a lot of hope here in Jacksonville, but that's something you can tie your wagon to and be like, hey, at least we got this going for us.
Borderline the only thing.
And right now, it's kind of the borderline only thing. I thought it was going to be Tank Bigsby as well, and it's not all his. Whoa, hang on now.
I know.
I don't even know what the numbers say. Hamby, if you got the numbers in front of you, please let me know. Or you can Google.
For who?
Who has more rushing touchdowns?
Etienne or Tank?
Travis Etienne or Tank Bigsby?
No, I'm sure it's
about this.
I'm sure it's Tank. I don't think it's close. I don't even. Has Etienne scored? Like, does anyone remember him scoring?
I don't really remember Tank Bigsby scoring, honestly.
Oh, Tank definitely.
I mean, I do remember, but like early in the season.
It's probably like 4-1. Is my bet.
Travis has 2.
I have no idea. He
2 rushing touchdowns.
He scored against Miami and Cleveland.
Didn't he? He scored against Miami too. Miami and Cleveland. He hasn't scored since week 2. Damn.
Fantasy owners in shambles. And Tank, he's got to have more than 2.
Gotta be 4.
Tank has 4 tuds.
And now, I mean, just because
it's not over.
And now, just because we're on,
it doesn't look good for me, but it's not over.
And since we're on the topic, Hamby, since I love to gloat so much, go ahead and, I was going to say go ahead and give me the Kirk Cousins numbers, but that's fine. Go ahead and give me Josh Allen quarterback sacks and Trayvon Walker quarterback sacks, please.
Okay.
Am I in this?
No, I don't think you are.
Cool.
No, but this is the one where I said that I think Trayvon Walker's going to have more sacks than Josh Allen.
Oh, yeah.
Because we had 3 big ones. What was my other one? Oh.
Mine were all terrible.
My other one
Trayvon has 8.5. Josh has 6.
Okay, not bad. My other one doesn't really count. Well, actually, I had 4 of them. I said Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be the best fantasy.
That's all they got.
I mean, I don't even feel good about that one. I mean, I guess Gabe Davis could have made a statement, but we're good. And then my other one was
mine are terrible.
Mine was Travis Gibson was going to have more sacks.
That one.
Well, I think he went to Seattle, but he might be gone to Seattle now. I don't know.
Mine are terrible.
Casey, let's go over your bold predictions for the season, Casey.
All right, so I said 2023 Tyson
Campbell. By the
Campbell.
way, I'll take 3 for 4.
I said 2023 Tyson Campbell doesn't exist. As it turns out, he does. He's also 2024 Tyson Campbell. So there's that. I said Evan Ingram, Jags career high in touchdowns. Okay, and I had Travis Etienne was going to up his total yardage by 500 yards. He's actually probably going to lose it by 500 yards.
Stop me, I'm all the way up.
Hey, Casey, you win some, you lose some.
I actually didn't win any.
Okay, well, no, I'm saying I'm winning them for you, though.
Yeah.
You win some, you lose.
So I have to go through a table, right?
Oh, that was the thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I still got a chance. Etienne could score twice. It's unlikely. It's very unlikely. You think Tank's going to score again, though?
Hey,
Yeah.
ETN hasn't scored since Cleveland, Casey.
I heard him say it. I heard him.
Casey.
You said it, actually.
Casey, it's been Cleveland, sir.
When's the last time Tank scored, though? They don't score a lot.
Yeah, it's been a minute for Tank, I think, too.
It's got to be like Indy or something.
I
right?
forgot that we had a table on the line. No, what was it? It wasn't even me. You said if Tank scores more than Travis Etienne, you'd go through a table.
I'm just hoping you can do it safely.
Tank hasn't scored since the Patriots.
See,
he's
that's
due.
What I'm saying.
He's due.
He's only scored in 2 games. He has 2 in both.
You want to talk about who's due?
Hey. No, he's due. Tank's due.
Travis is due.
Travis, he's had opportunities.
Has he?
He's had opportunities.
He had games with like a carry.
He's had.
Watch, D'Ernest will have 2 goal line scores.
I can't watch D'Ernest.
I can't explain to you how upset I would be. I would try to storm the Jags HQ and get some questions answered.
Hey, Casey, let's be honest, man. You know, season's kind of a wash. Season's in shambles. Do we rest Travis Etienne now? Do we shut him down? Do we see more of a look from D'Ernest Johnson?
No.
Maybe he can be.
If anything, we should shut Tank down.
For what?
He's the future running back.
He is the future running back.
Get what you got left out of Travis Etienne.
No. Tank's got something to prove still. He's hungry.
He needs more reps. He only has 100 carries on the year.
Only. Yep. Thank you very much,
Who only
Hamby.
has 100?
Tank.
And Travis Etienne has how many?
70. They're so bad.
95.
Oh, so
Tank has 102. Travis has 95.
Oh, so this is like
Etienne
the
has
Detroit Lions with the
That's nothing.
I mean, everything's evenly balanced. David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs.
I'll give you this. If Tank scores again, I'll concede and go through the...
You just get put
Travis
yourself to the
Etienne's not
table.
scored 3 more times. This is the 2024 Jags.
What's the most carries that Travis has gotten in a game all year?
Forget that question. How are we going to put Casey to the table? Chokeslam, powerbomb? But go ahead, answer the question.
Probably chokeslam is what I'm guessing. I think you're going to need some help.
I got you. No, I got you, man.
Everybody knows you got to jump for the choke slam.
Just wear a t-shirt. Just to like get some more grip. You're fine.
How many carries in a game?
What's the most carries he's had in one game?
It's got to be low. 12.
13.
Well, see, like, here's my thing. It's not a mystery why they stink. At times. Like, is it?
What, because they can't run the football? Or they're not running the football?
They're not running it. They can't. They don't do a lot of things. Like, I don't know. It's just not. Is it? All right, I didn't play. I didn't coach. Is it this hard?
To run the football?
To play the sport. Because, no, dude, I'm watching other teams know how to play. Drake May and the Patriots play offense. Why can't the Jags? I understand it's difficult, but is it that damn hard?
Can't convert on any third downs. You're never going to have anybody more than 13 carries in a game.
Listen, I get what you're saying, Casey. The
Other
NFL's
teams play, dude.
The NFL's full of parity. Like,
I get it.
To me, yes, NFL rosters have better players than others.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, what makes a difference to me is coaching. Okay? And that'll be the hill that I die on. All right? I think that if you get your butts whooped, if you get blown out in a game, that's on coaching. I think if you... I think if you're a far worse team, but you can keep it close, I think that's also on coaching. Right? So I think it goes hand in hand. Like, yeah, the players got to play, but the coaches get the players ready to play, and they get the players amped up when they need it. And they can check the temperature of the room. And I've been very adamant about this. I just feel like we haven't seen a lot of that this year from the Jaguars. So to answer your question, Casey, why? I think it comes down to culture and coaching. I know, it's cliche, and people are tired of hearing about it. Guess what, everybody? I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of talking about every single week the same damn thing with no changes, okay? And that's why I always say, how many more weeks do we have left? Because I've stopped counting. We have 5 games left, 6 games.
Stop me. I'm all the way up.
Just pushing buttons at this point.
Well, you said you couldn't stop counting.
Oh, I got nice. See, I didn't get that one, Amby. That's nicely done.
So the thing that makes me the most mad, actually, about the whole thing, is Denver. Like, that's what infuriates me because, in my opinion, Denver's not that talented. They're really not on offense. I'm strictly talking about offense. They are talented.
It should piss you off because they kind of gutted and let people go, and then it's like, oh, look at they rebuilt it in a year. Cool.
Rookie quarterback who, going into the college season before he got picked, was certainly not a top 10 pick.
Certainly not.
and has performed the way he has. They're not that talented. They've got 3 running backs that are just okay. They've got Cortland Sutton, who is very good.
A good defense till the last game when Jameis went off.
Some other receivers, like their offense, like...
Oh, I can't name one of the receivers is like a former Olympic high jumper, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
The average fan doesn't know any receivers with them other than Cortland
Sutton. Yep.
Like,
couldn't name a tight end.
And that's my thing. How?
You know why?
Coaching.
Sean Payton's a good coach.
It's just, that's the part that's the most infuriating to me, is Denver is a playoff team and the Jags can't put 3 downs together.
Dude, my most infuriating thing, and I get they're kind of the big rivals now, is the Houston Texans. Yeah. Casey, how many times would I go on the show like when we worked together, you were producing, and I would just go through Texans Twitter because I'm like, okay, yeah, it's bad optics in Jacksonville, Urban Meyer kicking players, all this stuff.
Allegedly.
Well, allegedly. But hey, it wasn't like Houston, where you had a team chaplain running the team, where you got All-American boy J.J. Watt wanting out, where you got DeAndre Hopkins wanting out. Like, oh, dude, because they say misery loves company, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I'm like, it's almost like when I watch Jerry Springer. I don't watch Jerry Springer because it's like entertaining. I watch kind of is, but I watch Jerry Springer because it makes me feel better about myself.
Oh yeah,
I'll be like, yeah, okay, man. Like,
rest in peace, by the way, Big Jerry.
He passed away. Did I not know that? I guess I did know that.
Springer?
Yeah, Jerry Springer did pass. I'm sorry, man. It was R.I.P.
Years ago.
Yes, he is all the way up. Tell me it's Friday without saying it's Friday. But no, like I watch it because it makes me feel better about myself.
Yeah,
but life might be going rough sometimes. But you know what? It ain't. I don't got 3 illegitimate children. I'm getting whatever blood tested for to see if I'm the father or not. So life's not that bad, right? We're all good. That's how I felt like the Texas football team was, and Texans Twitter was. I enjoyed it. It was my life force. And then all of a sudden you decide, okay, let's play our coach. Okay, cool. We'll see you later. All right, let's bring in D'Amico Ryans. All right, good luck to you, former player. I get all of it. Okay, CJ Stroud. Like Bryce Young better, but okay, good luck to you. And they turn it around in a year, and they win a division.
Yep.
And nobody saw it coming except Casey Kurtz. But nobody saw it coming except Casey Kurtz.
Called it.
Nobody saw it coming at all.
Called it.
Nico Collins didn't do really anything in college at Michigan. They didn't really throw the ball that much. Casey Kurtz saw it. But nobody else really saw it coming. And now here they are. Top of the division. Like, that pisses me off.
It should.
Because it's not how it's supposed. There's supposed to be a period where you got to build back up. You got to establish. Nope. Quarterback, coach, good to go. And here we are in Jacksonville. It's like, what's it going to take?
It should make you mad. It should make everybody mad that didn't place the bet that I did last year that they would go over on their wins. I basically put a mortgage payment on it. I got 2 back. It was pretty dope.
Yep.
But hey, I saw division, and I guess a lot of other people did. Hey, I know the show's about.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, and hopefully you didn't listen to me on the under this year with the Vikings.
Yeah. And hopefully you didn't listen to me on the over or the under with the freaking Bills.
Yikes!
I did not do either of those, so that's good.
Yeah.
All right. So real quick, not to end the show in like a dark spot.
Well, it's kind of already got dark, but yeah.
I have to go to a funeral tomorrow.
Ooh, sorry, man.
Shout out my guy Dan, rest in peace, true legend, one of the best autographers in the business. So here's my conundrum. There's a group chat with a bunch of other people that are going that we're all autographers. We're trying to decide what we should wear. Now, I know what you're going to say. You wear a suit to a funeral.
Yeah.
Just a little different situation, Dan. I don't expect there to be a lot of people in suits there, is what I'm saying.
Dan was a little more casual.
So my question is, what do we wear?
Dan was a little more casual. Where's this?
A signed jersey?
It's not terrible. We've actually considered that.
Wow. I wasn't thinking about that.
It is in Claremont, Florida.
Oh, yeah.
So it's warmer than it is right now. I don't know where Claremont is.
It's
so it's warmer.
Yeah.
South and west of Orlando.
Yes.
Okay, so science would say it's warmer.
In the country a little bit for sure.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get that point across.
Yeah.
But there's a big conundrum, and everyone's texting, what should we wear? What should we wear?
Okay.
And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to work.
Do you have a favorite sports team or anything?
Did he?
Yeah.
Oakland A's, but we don't have those jerseys.
Okay, I was going to say, oh, yikes. Man, Casey, you put me on the spot here, dude. I'm
just wondering if I'm looking to text back to my friends.
Don't wear a suit, right? Because like if he wouldn't have, do you think he's going to be wearing is it an open casket?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't know, man. If it's me, I would still. I don't know this guy. So you're asking me, hey, Austin, a stranger I've never met before, but I would say a polo shirt or something. Polo, like a
Hamby.
Don't tuck it in.
What should I wear?
Something signed.
Dark jeans and a polo shirt.
Dark jeans and a polo shirt. All right.
Maybe. I don't know.
Did you say 30?
30 seconds.
Oh, my bad, guys.
Yeah.
I forgot what we were going to.
You're
All right,
good.
cool. I'll put that in the group chat. I'll see what happens.
Yeah, see what happens, man. Be sure to keep us informed. Check us out in the Scrap House, then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll check in on what I wore to the funeral.
Wednesdays.
Rip up Dan, true legend, man. We miss you.
Dan, don't know you, man, but rest in peace, dude. Sound like a cool dude to me. Hey, for Casey Kurtz, hand pushing all the right buttons, Austin Land. Stay safe, stay casual. We'll check in the flip side